every hour could be the last. Why would we wait? Why would we wait? And every road could be unsafe, but we'll be okay. We'll make it. We'll make it. It's just who we are. Say where to go, and I know that I won't slow down. It's just who we are. Yeah, we will do anything we dream about. How about now? How about now? How about now? How about when every hour could be the last? Why would we wait? Why would we wait? And every road could be unsafe, but we'll be okay. We'll make it. We'll make it. It's just who we are. Say where to go, and I know that I won't slow down. It's just who we are. Yeah, we will do anything we dream about. How about now? When every hour could be the last, why would we wait? Why would we wait? And every road could be unsafe, but we'll be okay. We'll make it, we'll make it. It's just who we are, say where to go, and I know that I won't slow down. It's just who we are, yeah, we will do anything we dream about. How about now? How about now? How about now? How about when every hour could be the last, why would we wait? Why would we wait? And every road could be unsafe, but we'll be okay. We'll make it, we'll make it. It's just who we are, say where to go, and I know that I won't slow down. It's just who we are, yeah, we will do anything we dream about. How about now? How about now? How about now? How about now? when every hour could be the last. Why would we wait? Why would we wait? And every road could be unsafe, but we'll be okay. We'll make it. We'll make it. It's just who we are. Say where to go, and I know that I won't slow down. It's just who we are. Yeah, we will do anything we dream about. How about now? How about now? How about now? How about
Human Torch was denied a banknote.
Don't encourage it.
So funny though. I want chocolate. Dude, I'm not.
Yes, we're going live.
Don't do it.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the channel. Today will be our first ever episode of Disconnected. We are live today with our hosts. Myself, you know me, I'm Vin, I'm the jackass. To my left, we have Delicious.
Alright, delicious. Just delicious.
And as it should be, below me, we have Miss Flynn.
Miss Flynn.
Miss Flynn,
Yeah.
you're supposed to say hi and stuff.
Hi.
And then to our to her right is FLG Hawkeye. FLG Hawkeye, hi.
Hi.
How are you guys doing today?
Just brings back painful memories of my dead raptor.
That's how we're doing today. We're all painfully remembering Flynn's dead raptor.
His name's Hawkeye.
I know, and it died as soon as I got into the circle. Like, oh, Hawkeye died. Like the second I step in.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And you haven't played since.
I know.
Played what? What is this?
Actually, I played a little bit, but I need to learn.
I'm looking at me on my Skype, which is right there. Not there. Well, it's actually there, and I'm looking there. That's where you can see me from. And I'm looking at Ven's thing, and it's super dark, so I'm gonna get some mood lighting.
That's fine.
I'm dark? Oh, that's racist. No, don't worry, guys.
Lighting.
We need to do like a "Whose Line Is It Anyway" style intros then, so we can everybody gets like their own little quote before it. So like welcome to Disconnected. We have the brains Hawkeye, the beauty Miss Flynn, the brawn Dubs, and the Ven Venilus.
What? Why am I my
The
own?
Ven. The Ven.
Why am I my own category?
He doesn't have anything else. The only thing he's got his name is...
What he's got going for him is he's
You
the
know
Ven.
what? You know what? Hold on. I wouldn't even mind that. I wouldn't mind that one day if something like... By the way, they said it sounds like you're on your webcam, Mike, says Mini Moose. That's what she says.
Does it sound like it to you?
I don't know. But you know what? I wouldn't mind that. Like, if one day in the future... If the legacy I leave behind on this planet is like there's a fashion show later on and some really curtsy guy is just like, you know what you need? You need more Ven.
Oh my
You need
God.
more Ven.
You need more Ven.
Like, you know what? That's not.
But what if he's like describing how the model should walk down the runway? Like, clearly you do not have enough Ven in your walk.
Well, you've seen how he walks.
That's true.
It's very distinctive walk.
Can you stop?
Does he
making
have?
fun of my
Does he like?
I'm not
does he
making
like,
fun of it.
Does he like rock his hips?
Hot.
Does he like a? Does
No.
his
No.
Hispanic blood come out in his hips?
he walks like a thug. Like
It's
Like a thug,
yeah.
like
yeah, it's kind of like a mix between
Like
a
he-
thug and a gorilla.
what is it? Does he saunter?
I don't know how to describe.
we actually call Venalist Thuggrilla.
Ah, that is very descriptive.
I have actually been made fun of this for my entire life, and you know what? I don't care. 'Cause I legitimately do. I walk like a thug?
Yeah.
Thug. Does Ben have a pimp cane?
Like an endearing thug though.
Like I didn't,
Like a hardcore kid from the streets with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you might mug me, but you're gonna go work at a soup kitchen this weekend.
A heart of gold.
like
Can we have cue the Ven walking gif?
I wish we had one.
Yeah, you said we had a media setup, right? Can we someone cue the video of them
I
walking?
don't think we have a video
I'm gonna
of
go to
Ben
my
walking.
YouTube and see if I have a video of me walking anywhere. I think the
Next event we're at, I'll shoot one. I'll shoot a
Yeah,
video
no,
of you
we go to
walking.
Orlando. That'll be fun. I super hope that happens. I'd love to. Okay, by the way. Love it!
I'm currently queuing this up. By the way, guys, if anybody has any questions that they would like to hear or ask or direct towards us for us to answer,
Because nobody has topics.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
they do!
Cubs.
I'm saving them for when we absolutely need them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
would
I have
just
a
leave you
single
guys in the
video of
dark?
me walking.
No, I don't think there's any. We should have taken some. We should have taken like.
Oh, I'm sure Tyler
some-
has some. Where's his video?
No, we should have. You know what? We should have had him take some videos. We could have had some like movie style or music video style walking all the whole crew. Would have been
You guys
nice.
you should have taken advantage of that green screen when you guys were at that place with Laurelania.
God.
Just like stood in front of it and had somebody like videotape you just like jogging in place.
Yeah,
Or walking in place.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I don't even know. Like I apparently I walk with a I stand up straight, and because I am
He pops his chest out.
I don't pop my chest out. I'm just fucking big.
It's called asserting your dominance.
Yes.
Also
I
called
assert
good
my
posture.
dominance one step at a time.
And so the good thing about that for Ven is that he won't ever get like a lump in his back where he's got terrible posture and
Never have a
super.
hunchback.
Well, yeah, because
If this show goes more than 2 hours, I will have a hunchback.
like if you sit down, like see, because I'm
Oh,
starting.
you
to, like,
just lay down on your couch.
I gotta do
Just
like
lay out on the couch.
exercises to work my back out because I've got like super bad back now because I slouch. My sitting posture's awful. It's bad.
You need a DX racer.
I need a DS. Yes. Can we, Hawkeye?
Okay.
Just kidding.
Sure, why not? I'll just go into my warehouse of DX racers that I keep here, and I'll send you one. Why not?
Just poof it here.
I mean, that would be nice.
It would.
If I had a warehouse of DX racers here, you would still not get any. Do you know how expensive those things are to ship?
Really?
They're like $165 to UPS them from here to
Listen.
Ohio.
That's why you
so
don't.
what you're saying is you'll give us a shirt. We just have to. You'll give us a chair. We just have to pay for the shipping.
If I had one, that would absolutely be the deal, but there aren't. I don't have any. If I ever end up with a house full of DX racers, sure, you want to pay for the shipping, I will send you one.
I'll do it. I'll do it. How we all doing? How you doing, chat?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm still trying to find a video of me strutting. 'Cause
Chat's
apparently,
sleepy.
But yeah, that was
Just
the
Google Ven strut. I'm sure somebody's done it.
Okay.
I had popcorn last night with my nephew. We were watching a movie, and I still have like one or two of like the shells that like sneak up underneath your gums.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much. You go to like a movie, and you're like, this popcorn was a great decision. So much good butter and salt. I love it.
And then
Have
you,
bad
and then you
arteries.
leave.
And then you're like, oh, I should have been worried about my arteries. My teeth! You can't
I went
handle
to a Cinebistro the other night where they served like gourmet popcorn, and I couldn't eat it, but I got to watch other people enjoy it.
I haven't eaten anything today. Let's not talk about food. Hungry.
You woke up like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. And I spent
I woke up.
like 15 of them on my phone doing my wake up routine, checking
I
the
feel
Twitters.
My wake-up routine used to be like roll over, click play on Netflix because it stopped in the middle of the night, and continue playing. Dude, Ben laughs because he knows how true it is for him.
You have no idea how long I have been doing that. I have been. Oh my god.
Sometimes he wakes up in the middle of the night and clicks it.
I still to this day, like, I didn't even have a TV in my bedroom. We've got
the tablet like hanging off of the end table.
I swear to God, what I did is I got my tablet and it has the, it has the little flappy foldy thing. So I tuck it underneath my alarm clock.
Oh my God!
So it hangs down
so
perfectly.
Bad.
And I just press play, and we can watch Friends on our tablet while we go to bed. And as I'll like wake up sometimes like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, like it stopped, and then go right back to bed. I completely feel you.
What Mini Moose said is now because we just got a TV in our bedroom, which is awesome. But I usually have stuff to do in the morning. So right now it's like Krista wakes up really early. I wake up and plan to go back to sleep, and then my dog really needs to go out to the bathroom, so he just comes up to me and licks my face until I get up. You stupid dog! I'm kidding, I love you. Come here.
Oh, what a meanie dog.
He can't come here, he's dead. Look at him! He's right there and he's dead.
You dead,
I'm
dog?
hoping you mean asleep and not just like...
Wally!
I mean, he's dead and I couldn't be bothered to do anything about it, so... Just figured this is as good a place as any.
Nah, he's just tired, and I'm bothering him.
Well, he bothers you in the morning.
He does. You're just desserts, dog. But he's so cute. I can't be mean to him. He's just too cute.
I'm trying to pull up. We're gonna use the massive viewing for the first time ever because of dead animals.
Wait, what?
Don't worry, it'll make sense. You have to trust me on this. This is a random YouTube video that I made very randomly before we moved out to California.
Oh, okay.
For those of you guys who know, we have ferrets. Where we go, let's try our mass viewing. Let's try it. Boop.
It's gonna work.
And then from there,
Now we're trying to find out if Marley is excited for the move. Let's ask. Marley!
It looks like it's working.
Marley! Marley!
I can't.
Marley! Marley! He is stoked.
one of my very, very favorite random little vlogs that I ever made.
He is stoked. I love it. He was in a tube. How did he manage that?
Listen, you know what's... Okay, this actually goes back a little bit funnier. Ferrets are very curious creatures. It's the best way to phrase it. So one day we made it was very hot, so I made one of those like at home AC units with the ice and the fan and the blow. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Didn't work very good.
Yes.
It made the room very humid, but yeah, it definitely cooled it off a little bit. But so anyways, that was the elbow tube that I used, and so when it cooled down, we dismantled it because we didn't need it anymore. And I kind of was like, I bet you the ferrets would love this, and I threw it in the cage. And Miss Flynn said, "There's no way they're gonna play with that. That is so stupid. Take it." I was like, "Give it a day." Within like the first day, there were like 2
They
ferrets
just like to sleep in it. That's all that they like to do with it.
I find that hilarious. Because they like, why not just sleep? Why get into a 90-degree angle and then sleep?
You have obviously not seen a ferret sleep. They bend their entire spine and form a U shape, and that's comfortable to them.
Yep, it is really creepy. There was
is that not how you guys sleep?
I don't sleep like that. No, I use
Like
a
a
body
board.
pillow, or I use Flynn as a body pillow.
Like, listen, after you say that, I just picture you with like Flynn on one side and Flynn's like, no, and you're like, fine, you turn over to your waifu body pillow. And
He does.
That's
No, it's actually
he
it just
actually-
rolls over.
what
And it's the Nicolas Cage body pillow.
Oh god.
That is
That's okay.
That's
We're gonna go get the map on the back of the Constitution.
you flip it over, it's the Constitution.
Flynn. Kickstand said in chat, somebody Photoshop a fifth of Jim Beam next to the ferret. When
Yes.
Well, I used to have my when we had drunk Fridays together. I had that ferret drinking photo.
Very true. All right, so let's actually switch into something for streaming related or video game related, or
Let's not do that.
all right, favorite sexual position now.
The catapult.
Yes,
We've
my
been
God.
through this.
I knew that exact question was coming right there. I called it. Do I get money?
You didn't say it out loud. You only
You
did
call it beforehand.
Yeah,
like,
you
would
can't be
be
like,
the
you
worst
know what, I'm
gambler.
gonna
Like, you'd show up
silent-
the day after the Super Bowl, be like, I said it. Patriots would lose. I completely called it. Where's my money?
Where's my money? You didn't write it down, sir. Show me the rule.
I thought it. This is America.
This is America. Freedom of thought, right?
Hold on, I gotta add the stupid
adding?
thing so we can see when people, like, you know.
Ask questions.
Everyone's asleep.
Boop, there we go. Alright, so the jackhammer says kickstand. Okay, don't actually say real fucking technical positions here. What's wrong with you?
It was
He's
a
like,
question.
he's like, I'm a power top. Alright, favorite game you're looking forward to, and why?
I will wait.
You're not allowed to say Fallout 4.
Aw.
Come on! It's the best.
You're not allowed to say Fallout 4.
Alright.
I mean, other than Fallout 4, I haven't played a whole lot of other stuff. Or like, you know, seen trailers and gotten really hyped about it. Maybe Skyforge, maybe Albion Online. Those are probably the two, like, in-testing games that I'm really kind of excited for.
Okay.
Action Grinson called it Fallout Shelter when it is released on the Android.
Oh my god.
Which is supposed to be early August.
Soon!
It's supposed to be early August.
That's not soon!
That's like 20 days.
In video game time, that's soon. Like, if they said released on, you know, Android in 2018.
Yeah, no. If they did the very ominous thing, like coming to Android in the fall, like God damn it, I know that means like next January.
Yeah.
Well, or fall, and they just don't put a year on it. Like,
Well, that's a good idea, Nympho. That's a very good idea. Yes, if you guys do have any questions, do me a favor, actually. What we're going to do to set this up a little bit is I'm going to put out a tweet. I will put out a tweet and say, what are your questions? Not you questions. Jesus Christ, I'm tired.
Dude, my beard's so scraggly.
Questions.
Why can't it just be beautiful like Hawkeye's? It's gotta be scraggly. Fucking scraggles.
Alright. Here we go. If you guys have any questions, all you got to do is tweet at that, reply to that, and say what your question is. And we will do it there. And I'll even pin them at the top. Nope, Ertzel, it's been fixed. Sorry.
wow.
He does that every time, though.
Every time.
Is there a topic? You know what, Nova War? Just go with your heart and make a topic, man.
Dude, make it topic.
Right now we're talking about favorite
Yeah, there's no
video
theme.
games.
It's really just video game centric.
Yeah, video game centric. Next week we'll well, not next week because we'll be likely driving halfway across the country next week. But next time
I'll
we do this
probably be
show,
leaving next week.
we will actually have it a bit more structured. Right now, this is kind of like, let's just have some fun. Let's have a nice little layout for it, and let's just see where it goes.
Raise your hand if you like this layout. I love it. Think it's sexy.
Oh, you like the layout?
I like the layout.
Do you?
I do.
Flynn doesn't like the layout. She expected more penis.
I expected
That's
more
fine.
purple. Purple penis? No. No. Gross.
Question 1, where are my ferrets? Don't worry about the ferrets, guys. Dude, the layout is awesome.
Everyone only cares about the ferret.
Yeah. What?
That's really all the love is for the ferrets.
Hawkeye and Miss Flynn and Dubs are here. We're the ferrets. These guys aren't ferrets.
I was promised ferrets. These are not ferrets. These are
Hope he
people.
didn't deliver.
The ferrets are gone and they're never coming back.
Ferrets are in ferret kebabs.
I feel like you should occasionally look at another one. Hawkeye looks up at Dubs. Ven looks down at Flynn. Okay, so when I'm talking, I have to look this way, so I'm talking to Dubs. Dubs.
Is this some Brady Bunch shit?
Yes. Wait. Yes. Right? Yes.
Yeah. High five.
I just realized as soon as I went to look at somebody else, like the direction I looked was just off screen. It's like now I'm just talking to nobody.
No, you're looking up at me. No, so fight. What's up, man?
So I gotta remember that Ven, Hawkeye, and a diagonal downward. Wait, downward to Miss Flynn.
So you know what we need to do? We need to fuck people. You need to get like one of the classic, A&W root beer mugs. Okay? And then when I'm drinking it, I could legitimately be like, oh,
And I'll spit water out.
Dubs, you want some of this? And then like you reach over here and you pull out the same exact mug and be like, oh, thanks. Like,
Well, I was gonna say like we could do like the
completely fuck with
ventriloquist
people.
act, where it's like Ven, you'll like drink a glass of water, and I'll just be sitting here. and spit out the water you drink.
I'll just I'll hold like a squirt gun right here. No one will see it. You know, I'm not gonna lie though. This would absolutely be hilarious because like everybody here would be like, "Ah, would that be cute?" Blah blah. But then if somebody like new comes to the channel, they haven't seen it, and they're like, "Wait, those are completely different backgrounds. How the fuck are they doing that? Like, do they just have like, is this a set?"
Yes.
Yes, that's the fan. That's a prop. That's not a real fan. That's just a prop.
Disconnected is filmed before a live studio audience.
Technically, it is.
Okay, we have a legitimate question from NovaWar. How many years before Bethesda Studios finally spends time on bringing their facial/body animations out of 1994?
Never. They love it. They love that look.
They're known for.
But also, I like it too because I'm a big 30s, 40s fan, like that time period.
I love that old school shit.
Music, all that shit. I live for it. And the fact that they made post-apocalyptia go hand in hand with that is just like, you guys know me. It's like this whole franchise was made for me. Like, if I was to finish Fallout 4 and be like in the credits, it'd be like, Fallout 4 dedicated to fucking Dubs. You're the best. I guarantee it.
But if they went and they fixed them and made them all up to date, what would all the modders have to do? Like, they would be bored.
Exactly.
But they could. I mean, they could definitely use some realistic mocap and stuff like that. It's interesting that there doesn't seem to be a whole ton of that. Like, especially with how far graphics have come, kind of between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I can definitely see where Nova War's coming. Like, it is slightly disappointing to see kind of some of the massive changes we've had in gaming in that time not utilized.
Well, I have my 2 cents on that. Number one, I agree with Flynn because Bethesda knows who they're really pandering towards. Not only are they pandering towards, you know, a huge market of people who are following it, but also to modders. There's a lot of modders out there, and they do need something to do. I'm sure they weren't like mainly thinking about that, but I'm sure it was in the back of their minds. Because if you look at this game and everything that's in this game, it's all basically like taking what all the best mods for Fallout 3 and New Vegas were, and they just shoved them into a game and then made everything look better. And the playstyle was a bit better too. But it's like, you know, like there was a Wasteland Defense. It was a mod for New Vegas. It's basically your settlement creation now, except way revamped because, you know, I mean, they obviously created the game. They know what they're doing. They're not just modding. Yeah. But, you know, like, you see, like, you know, what you see in the first little bits, you see, like, the facial, you know, movements and stuff, and they've come a really long way. And the fact of the matter is, like, you know, maybe they didn't, perfect, like, have Final Fantasy, whatever they're on, 26 now, esque graphics for their face, you know, but you have to think of, like, how much room is going to be in Fallout 3, like, the play space, like, they're putting a lot of other effort into the size of the map, and
yeah, honestly, I would rather them have the bare bones because I like modding. I like you know, putting all that stuff in. So if it's
I want to get into modding.
Yeah, if it's perfect, then it's like, well, what do you do now?
Yeah,
like,
and I'm looking at this, like right here at Ben's screen. I'm looking at, you know, this trailer right here, and I don't see anything I dislike. Like, Deathclaw looks 1,000 times better. Player model looks way better.
I mean, yeah, there've been definite improvements. It's not, you know, the same thing. It just would have been interesting. I can, especially what we've seen from some of the recent story-driven games, even bigger ones, you know, big open world ones. It would have been interesting to see some more of that come into play.
No, I agree. I can agree with that.
Yeah, and one of the things I will say, maybe here's because everybody, I would say minus Flynn, like you two are obviously very biased because you've played the Fallout series. You love the Fallout series. I myself have never played a Fallout series, and one of the first things I said when I saw the Fallout 4 trailer, because I was like, "Oh my god, he's stoked for it!" I've never fucking played it. Like, I don't know what the hell's so exciting about it. I mean, I'll try it. It's for me, I always thought it was an FPS Skyrim, and
he hates like, Skyrim.
And I didn't really care for Skyrim. But the first thing I said was, "Why is this dude in the blue suit walking like he's in 1990?" I actually said, I was like, you know, the graphics look really nice, but why does the character model look like such dick?
Yeah.
I said that exact line.
And, you know, looking back, when I saw the original trailer made, everything was really pretty. And then it got to where he looked down at the puppy, and he said the words he said, and then they walked down and went, "Bah!" I was like, what? everything was good, but that player model was like, even though it was a cinematic, it was even in cinematic, it was like a little disappointing. But then we got to see, what is it, the E3 thing, and that made me really happy because everything looked a lot better. Like, you actually get hair follicles now instead of like a brick of hair. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You also can pick real hairstyles. Like, you're not picking like. They had some really fucking.
Oh, the old Fallout hairstyles. I thought that was some of the best part. Looking at all this ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like all these ridiculous hair options and trying to come up with a character that wasn't ridiculous. Like, it's one of those games where instead of having to work hard to make your character ridiculous, like in Mass Effect or something like that, where you have to really work at making a ridiculous character, in Fallout you had to work really hard to look even somewhat normal.
Yeah. Yes,
with the choices given.
Travis
Whereas it took me almost no time to make, you know, my guy with a mohawk and sideburns and.
With what Nova Wars said there, that they did also take the time to do dynamic lighting. Like that's the one thing. Like, I mean,
I'm sorry, look at this character model. It looks like such dick.
Yeah, well, it's, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. And games like that are super immersive, you're not even going to notice it after a while. Like, once you really get into the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's really not going to be that big a deal when you're actually playing.
Yeah.
If their story immersion is good,
yeah.
I mean, you'll probably let things like that go. But it's also a Fallout game, which is known to have some pretty heavy hand-holding at parts and some pretty immersion-breaking things in it as well.
Well, but I agree with Ben in the fact that, you know, when you watch that first trailer too, that is, I mean, those types of things can be the things that turn people off the game. You know, it's like, they're like, oh yeah, it looks good, it looks pretty good, and then all of a sudden, like, they see that, I was like, or it maybe doesn't look so good.
Like, you know, I think I have a good example here. I think one reason they've never catered to it is because, one, they already have a huge, gigantic fan base, so they don't really.
Yeah, they could throw out anything; it wouldn't matter.
They don't have to worry about, oh my god, is this game going to sell? It's going to fucking sell. Number two, take anybody, for instance, maybe even you. You might be a good example, Miss Flynn. Wait, which way do you have to look? You have to look over there. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I think I'll look down.
Look at you, right there.
One thing I would say is take an old school game that is something that someone's never played. The graphics are outdated. They aged well. What would you guys do if Square made another Final Fantasy Tactics?
I would play it and buy it.
I would play it and buy it 3 times, buy a few copies for my friends. Now think about a couple people who have never played Final Fantasy Tactics.
No, yeah,
and they know the name Final Fantasy. When you think of Final Fantasy now, anybody who's new to the Final Fantasy game, if you will, they think of all these cutting-edge graphics, all this insane battle system, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But if you go back to... If somebody makes something like that, like the old school crowd would be, I'm going to buy it. I don't give a fuck about the graphics because I know how... And I think the same rule applies here.
It's something I think that every developer's got to wrestle with at some point is, you know, maintaining your original graphic style and, you know, showing the franchise, you know, being the same versus moving with new technology. Because you see it with other games. I mean, look at Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3 does not have cutting-edge graphics for its time, but that's because it's sticking to the graphic style that was established in Mass Effect 1, which came out years and years and years before. But I think there's a difference between something like Mass Effect that makes a trilogy over a span of... the Mass Effect trilogy was over a span of like 8 years. 6 years, 8 years, something like that. And Fallout that's now spanning like 15, 20 years. At some point you have to adapt, even if you have a style. Well, I'm not saying Mass Effect 3 doesn't look good, Nova. It looks good, but things like character models and things like that are still in the style of the original Mass Effect. They are better, but they maintained that overall graphic style. You didn't see, you know, what at the time of Mass Effect 3 was the big new thing in character, which was motion capture, people realistically looking like their voice actors, things like that. Mass Effect 3 didn't have that. It was a beautiful game, but it stuck with its style.
watching, like, I'm watching this character walk around right now.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not. It's really, like, with the dynamic lighting, and, like, I mean, Ven, I guess if you were to play Fallout 3 New Vegas in depth and see not only where it's come, but where it's at for the standards of today, and from where it's came, they've kept... Because I think one of the classic things is that Fallout ragdoll feel, too. Like...
The ragdoll's the best.
I mean...
Okay, ragdolling is pretty funny in any game.
And I feel that, you know, there's a certain character model build that New Vegas and Fallout 3 have had, and you know, you gotta think, like, they kept stuff pretty similar from Fallout 1 to 2, and then we enter Fallout 3, you know, it's a whole new different feel. New Vegas, very similar, really not a true sequel, more of an expansion, but still good and provided more content than than Fallout 3. And then we move into Fallout 4 way later with a map that is ridiculously huge, dynamic lighting, much, like, very highly improved character models, and still gives you that feel. I'm expecting to go into this game, shoot someone in the head with, like, a railway rifle or something of the same extent, have their head get pinned to a fucking floorboard ahead, and their body just fucking flip out. Maybe an arm gets stuck in the wall, so their body starts doing little, like, shit. That's what I want.
I mean, even with Skyrim, when you can mod that out, you can fix the physics, but I don't, because I like those deaths. They're hilarious.
So, like when the and you know, that's one of the things I learned about Skyrim as well, is that, like, everything is based on, like, your ragdoll is based on the amount of damage dealt to you, and apparently a frost giant feels like 10 times what it should kill you. So it's like, you know, if you got hit by an arrow and it did, like, a little bit overkill, your body will actually fly further than getting, like, just ended. You know, based on the amount of damage dealt to you, like, that puts you over death. That fucking giant hits you, you are literally going to the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Live there and make a home.
Yeah, here's what
you're going to the Cloud District.
Still touching on the same topic, same amount of physics, same amount of hilarity. I will say I did expect a little bit more graphically from Fallout 4. They say yes, it's a huge game, and blah blah blah. That's fine. It's just an opinion. And here's why. Take a game that's recent release, like The Witcher. Look at The Witcher 1. Holy shit! It was like Tomb Raider on PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then Witcher 3. The graphics, the facial expressions, the character model, you know, it's just like they overhauled it completely, but they still stay true to the game. Like, I still feel like I'm playing a Witcher game.
Yeah.
Same exact note, take Dragon Age. Dragon Age 1. Not as bad graphically for the first one. Lighting and general terrain graphics were fucking horrible. But, you know, you fast forward to Dragon Age Inquisition, same exact thing.
Yeah.
And Dragon Age Inquisition, I think... Dragon Age Inquisition... I would be surprised if Fallout 4 had a bigger world than The Witcher. Because Witcher was fucking huge.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I give that credit too. You know, I think another thing that you have to keep in mind, and I'm not really trying to vie for Fallout or for Bethesda right here, I'm actually probably kind of condemning them a little bit, is the fact that they've gone into this game kind of breaking a lot of barriers that they had from the past, specifically the voiced main character or characters for girl and boy. You know, yes, other games have done that, and you know, yes, other games have dynamic lighting, and yes, they have all this other stuff. But this is kind of Bethesda's first game that does. And so I think that, like, you know, with all this new stuff coming out, and I think with the eagerness of their fan base as well, because I don't know for sure, but The Witcher has a lot of, you know, a large fan base. I have a feeling that Fallout or the Bethesda fanboys are a much larger crowd than Witcher fanboys.
I agree.
Well, yeah, I mean, Fallout is just, it runs deep with people. I mean, people have been playing that game. That was their childhood game.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Bethesda knows that, and they can get away with some
I think that, honestly, that's why. Like, I personally don't think it's that bad, but...
But, and that's the thing, and then when you get, you know, people who are Bethesda, you know, fans, we're just like, it still looks really good.
Yeah, I don't think it looks like bad, but at the same time, like, it's true. I think that they didn't put the same amount of work into it because they know they can get away with it, and because they do have a huge modding community that is obsessed that will do it for them. So why would you?
Yeah.
No, that's well, and the other thing is even with all the downsides we've talked about, is anybody here not buying Fallout 4?
Fuck.
Like, no, I'm still getting it. Like, I will definitely acknowledge every single one of these downsides. I'm still buying it on release day and gonna play it.
I think it's important to talk about it though. Like
definitely.
I like thinking, like what could they have done better, and then you can start thinking alongside of what could they done better, what will they do better.
Okay, I have I'm going to bring in a question before we get to the more questions that's kind of still on the same area, because Hawkeye mentioned it a little bit. What is your favorite game for voice acting? Where the voice acting just immersed you? The facial expressions, or the voice acting in general, whatever it was, what game like that immersed you the most? Like, oh my god, I love the voice acting in this fucking game.
Halo 3.
You're gonna say Dragon Age.
Oh yeah, Inquisition, 100%. Dragon Age Inquisition. I had a boner the entire time somebody talked.
If I played Dragon Age, I'd probably be in the same boat, honestly. But just because of childhood and like it was the epitome of all things Johnson, Master Chief Cortana, fucking what's his name? The main commander guy that I can't remember his name right now.
Damn it, Senpai Nova, don't take my answer.
Damn it, what's his name? the elite guy. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, well, I mean, there's the Arbiter.
The Arbiter, yeah.
The Arbiter, but there was fucking Shipmaster, the head elite guy. His voice was always pretty epic. And then there was Miranda Keyes and the Brute Chief did Tartarus. Well, no, Tartarus was Halo 2, but there were Brute Chieftains, the fucking Prophets. 343 was there. It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, my hands down is Dragon Age Inquisition. They just did such a good job. Like they spent a good fucking budget hiring good quality voice actors. And on top of that, they completely caught me off guard too, because they you haven't played it, but there's a character that he's unlocked pretty early in the game. He's a big he's a Kunari, which is pretty much like imagine like a bull mixed with a human. They're big, they're huge, they're massive. This guy he kind of sounded like this. He was, Dubs, would you like to go to war with me? Like he was really deep, rumbly. He was really crazy. I find out later it was Freddie Prinze Jr. doing that.
Really?
Voice. And I was like, what? And then I watched like some of the behind the scenes, and he's like, yes, so to play him, I decided to sound a bit like this. And it was just like, holy fuck!
That's pretty cool.
Like, amazing. A 10 out of 10 did not know. Like, you know Freddie Prinze Jr. is in Mass Effect 3?
Did you know that Freddie Prinze Jr. played Freddy from Scooby-Doo?
Really?
Pretty sure.
This fucking guy. Okay, let's see. Last of Us, says Oxy. That was a good one, too.
Yeah, I heard.
See, and a bunch of people said Mass Effect 2, so now I feel like a cheater saying that. So maybe,
Skyrim?
Skyrim. No,
it's for the Nords, man.
Spec Ops was pretty good. Spec Ops: The Line. Like, that game's all messed up, and it would have been completely lost if the voice acting wasn't delivered well.
You know, I was one of the reasons I actually loved Mass Effect to begin with, because I wasn't sure if I'd like it. I was not sure if I'd like Mass Effect when I started playing it. And then one of the first voices you hear is Seth Green. And I was like, I'm in! I'm in! Give me popcorn, let's do this!
That's pretty good.
Man. Sorry, you were saying Hawkeye. I apologize.
Oh, I was saying Spec Ops: The Line. Like, that game's so kind of heavy as a game. It's one of those things where the voice acting... The reason I think the voice acting stands out in that, well, I don't think it's necessarily the best ever. It is that the voice acting is such an integral part of that game, because it's so kind of an emotionally heavy game that if the voice acting was delivered poorly in that game, it would have hurt it more than if the voice acting was delivered poorly in a game like Mass Effect or something like that. And then maybe also, even though it's kind of cheesy anime, I like the voice acting in Valkyria Chronicles.
I have.
That one's a bit more. Yeah, exactly. It's cheesy anime, but I see where the draw is there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go as far
around
as say it was
Steam
art,
and
but I
chat,
liked
guys,
it.
Good luck.
I liked it a lot.
Flynn?
Flynn?
Is playing.
I don't know if I can really chime in on this one because I don't really care about voice acting. I care more about the actual gameplay. So, I mean, it adds to it for me, but it doesn't like make it or break it.
Well, now to be fair, now here's where I will.
And I kind of skip things sometimes.
I will step in and say that you are missing something because Flynn, more often than not, will. I don't think she's ever played a voice acting immersion game. The biggest one she's ever had was Skyrim, which I'm sorry, that's not about voice acting.
No.
Like she hasn't played Dragon Age. She hasn't played any of the
in a lot of the
Effect.
games too. I don't have any patience, so I don't sit through it. But I did for Witcher 3. I actually sat through every stupid little voice acted thing.
She's one of those typical girls, like halfway through the movie, and by halfway I mean 19 seconds into the movie, she pulls out her cell phone because she's bored.
I want to play. I don't want to watch a movie.
I wanted to touch on this real quick. Draven earlier said, what do you say? Draven said Baldur's Gate. And I don't know if any of you have played Baldur's Gate for like the PS2.
I actually haven't. I actually have not. I've gotten a lot of hate for that.
I played them both, and from the first, it's Dark Alliance. Yeah, Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate. The fucking part where there's a shopkeeper. I think it's in the first one. Or no, in the second one. It's in the second one. He goes, swords, axes, bows. We've got everything you need right here. He's just got this tempo to it, and it can't get out of my head every time I play it. My friend and I, Chad, will just be sitting there playing, killing these like bugbears, and all of a sudden I go, swords, axes, bows, we've got everything you need right here. And then he's like, shut up! I'm like, I can't! We've got everything you need right here, man!
Okay. One of the... To this day, this happened to me in vanilla WoW. And I can never get it out of my head. I say it at least a couple times a week. Where I will see somebody, and I will quote the gnome. The gnome shopkeep when you click on him. Hi, how are ya? I will say that all the fucking time. In that time.
All right.
It is true.
You've brought up this thing for me now, and it's something that you just have to have when you're in Delicious Cinnamon.
Okay.
And it is the repetitive quoting of everything any unit says from Warcraft 3. Just like we'll be sitting there and just like it's like you turn to your friend and you're just like, something you doing? Work, me not that kind of orc. Zug. Yes, me lord.
I loved the ones that got pissed off at you over time, like the soldier or the wizard. Don't you have a kingdom to run?
I know, right? And it's like I'm trying to like. There's like
I love the
for my ancestors and all that kind of stuff.
I love the knight. Join the army, they'd say. It'll be sail the world, they say.
See the world, they'd say. You click on me, he's like, I'd rather be sailing.
I love that. Absolutely love that one.
I love it.
My favorite repetitive line from any of those RTS games from back in the day, let's see if anybody knows it, everybody always gets it wrong. Everybody always gets it wrong.
You must construct additional pylons.
Nope. It's yet the correct game, but somebody call for an exterminator.
Ah, alright. Yeah.
Everybody always gets the unit wrong. I think I've met one person who was like, yes, I know exactly what it is. Somebody call for an exterminator. That is my favorite line out of that game.
I've heard it, and that was really well done.
That and when you're clicking on the yep, everybody thinks it's a fire bat. It's not a fire bat. Everybody thinks it's a fire bat.
Who is it? I legitimately don't know. I'm running through my head and I can't think of who it is.
It's a ghost. The guys that drop the nukes.
Really?
Yep.
Dude.
Because their mask they have the mask on, it goes, shh. Somebody call for an exterminator.
I just saw fucking Action Grinson, and all I can think now that I've seen it is is the bloodlust sound from...
You actually did a fairly good impersonation of that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. We got a lot of questions coming in. All right, next question is from Senpai. Thoughts on Lego World and the new Terraria update? That's quite that's like so.
I'm not
how do
really
you like
interested.
milkshakes? Also, what do you think about the new Orlando Studios theme park? Like what?
No, the game Lego World, the MMO.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh, okay. I was like,
that one.
what?
I'd play it. I have not seen too much on it though, and I also haven't heard too much about the Terraria update, which makes me sad because I used to love Terraria, and then it got so big, and I'm just waiting for Terraria 2 now.
I have a couple of friends who played Terraria, and they seem to really like the changes. Like, they had pretty much stopped playing, and I've seen both of them on Steam constantly in the game for the last 3 or 4
I've
days.
seen that too with some of my friends, so it sounds like it's been pretty good. Lucy.
Also, Lego World looks neat. Like, I'll give it a try at some point. I heard a lot about, kind of interesting day one problems and stuff. But anything like that, so I bought into the last Lego MMO.
Yeah, I'm not really.
And so
I
I'm
wanna put
kind
any
of
money
a
in it.
little standoffish with this one because it's kind of like fooled me once.
Yeah.
Shame on you, fooled me twice.
Hasn't my nephew
Shame
been
on me.
playing
So
this game?
if this one can
He
make
has
it a
it.
couple months without getting shut down, then I will be more likely to buy in.
Yeah, I
It
think
doesn't. From what I saw on his stream, the brief bit of him playing it, I was not interested in it.
Okay.
And I don't want to throw money in it until
I've got too many other things.
Do you
to
submit
throw.
questions?
Yeah,
via
there's
Twitter?
enough
Yes.
games. I have enough games to worry about right now.
I mean, it's not super high cost. I've been
It's
down
still,
this
I
road
could put
before
that
with
money
Lego
into
and
other
MMOs.
things, like other awesome games or food, which I really enjoy.
Food's nice.
Plus, I like backed a lot of Kickstarters recently. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
I've been staying away from Kickstarter. After Crowfall, I was just
I
like,
had-
no,
I
I
had
can't
to,
be
like-
giving any more money to games that aren't out yet.
I had to skip out on the last one I wanted to back because
What
I
was that?
don't have money. What is it called? It was the one by the people who make Contrast.
You talking about the one with the
Be
eyes?
Happy Few or something? Yeah, it's weird. It's
Oh, We Happy Few, yeah.
I wanted to back
did
it
back
so
We
bad.
Happy Few because I love those guys and
I-
one of streams here.
I
So
wanted to, but I
God.
was like, should I spend the money? I don't really have money. I'm not going to be working that much. I'm not going to be streaming that much this month because of the move. I'm like, I shouldn't do this.
This is one of the ones. I'll pull up a trailer for this. I'm sorry. This just looks fucking terrifying.
At Venilus, why Flynn is not where Delicious Cinnamon is? Well,
Because he wants me on the bottom.
haha!
As it should be.
Does he though?
Yes. Yeah, this is one of the games that Flynn backed up, actually. It
Which
is
one? Perception? Oh yeah, I bet.
This
I
looks
like.
terrifying. I will never play this.
Oh,
All
it
this
looks
is following
freaking
in-game
sweet.
captured, blah, blah,
It's
blah.
a horror
This
game. I'm
looks-
playing it.
It's horror. Yeah,
Look
it's
at
horror.
this. Just,
I love horror games.
The main character's blind.
Already love it.
You do it by
Horror game where you
echolocation. It's
can't-
awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
just watch the thing. I don't have the sound on. That was obviously you can hear us talk and stuff like that, but this is the gameplay for it. This looks effing terrifying.
Dude, Oxy says horror equal hearts, and Oxy knows that I love it too because she was in my streams for Outlast, which were super scary because that game is frightening.
So what's this game called again?
Perception.
This is really cool.
It is.
Whoa!
I'm really excited about it.
There's a dead guy in that bed. I'm probably super late.
Price tag? This is still on Kickstarter, I believe.
Yeah, Kickstarter.
Well, this looks like it's gonna get published, so I wouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
About it. Like this looks like it's well underway.
But yeah,
Dude,
it's gonna be sweet.
this looks so good.
I want nothing to do with this game.
It looks so good.
Look at that. And she
I'll
can
have to
she can
play it.
echo sense the spirits.
Yeah. So the more noise, the more you can see from your echolocation, obviously.
What the
And-
hell?
They've already made a alternate mode where you can it's called, I forget what it's called, like Dead Silent or something, where it will only voice act the important lines to make it a little bit more creepy.
Yeah.
So you don't have the constant character talking, like. But I'm really stoked for it.
Dude, this
Wow.
looks so good. Oh, it's so scary.
I know, right? I'm gonna pee my pants playing this game.
So it's
I thought there was-
Daredevil but with ghosts, says Kickstand. Yeah.
There's a ghost.
And
Look, it's
apparently, as obviously from the trailer that you can see, as the story unfolds, the house changes. Like, so places you went through before, now you cannot.
Rearranging the furniture on the blind person is just mean.
See, I played an Amnesia mod like that, and it was pretty freaky. Dude, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the face.
I can't quite do horror. Like, I just don't enjoy being stressed out while I game.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, this was on Kickstarter, and I am very confident this one's coming out. So.
I make silly noises when I do it.
Me too.
I was like,
I just squeal the entire time.
yeah.
See, for me,
compare
like
that game to Beyond Eyes. Never played it. What's Beyond Eyes?
I don't know.
Beyond Eyes. Never even heard of it.
We'll look it up.
Is it like a game where you see things?
Hawkeye made me obsessed with Moonrise, says Lucifer. God. The game looks like I'd shit myself on, says Gurgle. Yeah, I want nothing to do with that game. That looks absolutely terrifying. Beyond Eyes isn't the one shown at this year's E3. You know, I didn't see Beyond Eyes. What is that?
Either.
Oh, channel.
See, I don't know if I like straight horror. I like kind of the creepy situation. Like We Happy Few, that game looks like it's going to be everything I want in a video game.
Oh, I remember this one. I remember seeing this and I was kind of like, what is the point of this game? It's the Xbox One. It's this one. It's rated E for everyone.
Looks a little happy.
It looks way happy. I don't think you can really compare the two, Allergic. What is wrong with you? A girl without sight searches for her butterfly. But she finds flowers instead because she's blind.
Like a living painting. It's too happy. Even with the dark parts, it's too happy. Yeah, I'm really sad that I didn't back We Happy Few, but I just didn't have the money. I wanted to.
They're gonna do like a PayPal thing where you can buy it early, and I'm probably just gonna buy
I'll probably
4 or 5 copies just to give it to people.
She found her favorite dog. It was a cat. She must face her fears.
I mean, she's blind. It's the furry animal, dog, cat, whatever.
As soon as I
this
saw,
looks kind of similar to a game. I think it's called like The Path or something. It's got a similar style, but it's less happy. I think that's what it's called.
I think that's the dog or an otter. I couldn't tell what that was. Oh my gosh, chat broken it. It won't automatically scroll down.
Yeah, it looks kind of similar to The Path.
That's okay. We got 4 staff in here. Staff, handle it.
4 staff. Beyond Eyes.
That looks okay. That's not something I would necessarily be like, yeah!
Oh, I wanted to say a thing about some new releases that I don't know how new they're going to be because I don't know when they're coming out. But there is going to be an Outlast 2.
Yes, there is. I'm so excited. Moving on topics! What about Soma? I'm so excited for that one too.
Soma's the one by the Amnesia people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yes!
I love scary.
I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be good. Those are gonna be great stream material. I'm gonna another for those people who know too. From the last one I did for Outlast Whistleblower, I did an oh boy, it's 3 a.m. stream and played Outlast Whistleblower. Those are probably gonna be 3 a.m. stream worthy.
I haven't done Whistleblower yet. I did Outlast though.
Whistleblower fucked me up.
Outlast fucked me up. Like the first, I kind of like became a little bit immune to it because I didn't finish it in one night. I had to finish Alien Isolation first, and then we did Outlast on the last part of Halloween, I believe, at the end, very late on Halloween, and I couldn't finish it. It was getting late. I was already way over my stream time. But that first night of playing Outlast fucked me up. Like, dude, I was like so shaken up about it.
The Penis Brothers.
Oh yeah, that. Oh my god, that was not cool. But after that, after I got back into the game, probably the second day, I kind of became immune to it because I realized that as long as you keep running, you can get away. Like, it's possible.
Now here's one thing that it drives me nuts about Flynn. I will say this. Flynn will often wake up and go, I had a bad dream. And she'll be super sad that she had a bad dream. And then what she do? Puts on a horror movie as she tries to go back to sleep.
No, that's not while I go back to sleep, but that's just all I watch. That's what I like to watch when I'm doing work. It's like good background.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, I love to type up spreadsheets while listening to the sound of humanity being destroyed behind me. It's like, oh man, I gotta get these accounts done. Better put in the sounds of, college co-eds screaming as they're dismembered.
Well, I don't really like slasher films.
It was very hilarious because back when we were at the old house, Flynn had her laptop. Laptop had speakers on it. She wouldn't use headsets. She plugged the speakers. I thought she was watching porn
he always
all
thought I was
the time.
watching porn.
Because all she was watch horror movies. And if you think about it, you're not watching the horror movie. The only thing you occasionally hear is... I'm like, what is happening? Oh, she's sawing off her leg. That is not a good expression for sawing off your leg.
The thing is that he's talking about when I got through all of the top-end horror, I then started watching the B and the C horror, and that stuff has those kind of noises in it. Because this is bad. It's just a bad movie.
Like, at one point, the chick was like, yeah. I'm like, seriously, that is porn. And she's like, no, she was telling the guy where the vein was. Like, what?
Where the vein was. What kind of... Is this like all Saw movies right now? It's just like, yeah.
Like, occasionally, if I just heard, I want to play a game, I'd be like, she's watching Saw. Yes, I understand.
Sometimes he had to actually... he had to come and look at what I was watching to confirm that it was not porn. Because he didn't believe me.
I'm sorry. One time, I turned back and she was sitting here like this. No, I'm not watching porn. I'm not watching porn. Don't come over here!
That didn't happen. Don't make up stories.
But legit...
A few times he did come over and there was a sex scene, to be fair.
Yeah, because think about how many B-rated movies have that sex scene. They're like, hey, we're in a creepy abandoned house, let's go do it in the master bedroom where it's clearly haunted. Yeah, you like that?
That's kinky, though.
Yeah. And so I'd be like, are you watching a sex scene? And she just...
Okay, wait. Taros. Okay. On the whole scary movie thing, I have an amazing story that is entirely embarrassing for my parents. So, the original Scary Movie, back in the day before they started putting a lot of graphic stuff on TV, back when I was young, like they would show the trailer for Scary Movie, and it just came off as being really funny. They didn't show any of the perverted stuff on TV because back then you didn't show that stuff on TV. Oh. So, it's like, oh, it's supposed to be just a horror movie spoof. It's funny. And my parents took us to this movie, this rated R movie, when I think I was like 8. I don't know when it came out, but I was probably like 8. My brother was like 5. They took us to this movie, and then it finally became real. We realized, my parents realized we didn't understand what any of this was, but they realized, the dick coming through the hole in the bathroom, and then the splooge and stuff. My mom got so mortified. She's like, "Oh my god!" But then you didn't want to get up because then it brings attention to my parents who have these young children in this movie.
Yeah, and the best. I'm sorry, the absolute best part of this.
My mom is a prude.
Her mom is the biggest prude.
Super Catholic prude. So she was just white. She was just yelling at my dad. She's like, I can't believe you brought us this way. Like, trying to be quiet about it, but just yelling at my dad. My dad's just laughing. He just thinks this is the funniest thing that's ever happened to us.
It is.
That's pretty funny. Like,
her mom is one of those... Miss Flynn and I are nearing 30. We've been together for 3 years, and I'm pretty sure she still believes that we haven't kissed yet.
Yeah.
That's how naive she is. Like...
Whoa.
Sweetest woman in the world. She's really nice. She's really caring. Yeah. But that's the extent of her prudeness.
Her children don't have... They're not sexually active.
Like, we could have babies, and then you could say...
for sex making.
We could legit have babies. They could come out looking Mexican, just like me, and her mom would be like, so what adoption agency did you go through? Because I know you didn't have sex.
So yeah, my super Catholic mom took her 8- and 5-year-old children to see Scary Movie.
That's awesome.
All right, next question is from Mnympha. Mnympha says, what games are we looking forward to in the nearest future? Anything special, new technology, graphics, new type of game?
Wait, near future? Like
near future?
Soon?
I would say...
Or just in general?
Let's go with near, so something that's coming out in the next...
I don't know what's coming out.
Did you say near future isn't soon? Because I heard near future, you mean like noon, which would be in 12 minutes for you guys.
Yes. I would say
Like-
the most.
What game are you
recent
looking forward
game
to that
I'm
comes
looking
out in
forward to
12
playing
minutes?
if they ever fucking fix the goddamn servers is Rocket League. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think as a streamer that would be a lot of fun, especially to play with viewers.
Let's just clarify now. When you say near, are you talking like
We're talking not
5,
Fallout.
6 months from
No,
now?
we're talking not Fallout.
Like Fallout's coming out relatively soon, though, in comparison to everything else. Like I would say the only, I mean, I don't really know. I might be missing things because I try to avoid some of the
Hype.
games because the hype, because then it just makes me cry because I have no money. But I think the only one that's coming out soon is Soma, and then Fallout. Like
When is Soma coming out?
tomorrow. Fall maybe around Halloween, I would guess.
We're playing it, and guess who is playing it with us, Flynn?
Ben?
Yeah,
What?
he's gonna come here
What
for our
happened?
Halloween stream.
What are we playing on stream?
You're gonna be here for Halloween stream. We're gonna play Soma from the makers of Amnesia.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, a whole lot.
But you'll have each other to hold at night, so it'll
Yeah.
be okay.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Okay, from DMP, opinions on Dishonored 2 sneak peeks. I have never played Dishonored 1 because of the release trailer of Dishonored 2. I actually bought one on the summer sale. I do plan on playing it, so I can't really say I have much of an opinion on it. I think it looks like a fun game. I can't really say much else than that. You guys?
I was gonna play.
I loved original Dishonored. I tried to get really good at like the stealthing around and stuff,
I'm really jealous.
but it was so much fun. I could never do like the no-kill run where you try not to kill any of the guards.
Ooh, yeah.
Was just so beyond me. But I had a blast with the game. I can't wait for 2.
Yeah, I haven't played 1, but I've been planning on it because
Yeah, I
Dishonored
haven't played
looked really good. The first one looked really good as well, but I just never got to it because I've
Yeah, there's a lot of games out. Like, it's hard to keep up with them.
Yeah,
Like, I plan to play all these games. I have a list of them, but I haven't done
You
it yet.
just vomited delicious, nice stuff.
It's true. Honestly, last year's E3 I think was kind of boo-boo,
Yeah.
and I think this year's E3 was really good as far
Yeah,
as
last year's was pretty bad. I don't remember anything I wanted besides like maybe Smash.
Dragon Age.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
That was it. It was the
I
only thing
was-
I was excited for.
I was excited to see stuff about what is it, Shadows of Mordor. I haven't played it yet,
Ooh,
but then I heard
I
some
liked that game.
liked
reviews
it
on it. Like,
Shadows
it
of
was
Mordor?
good. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed of
yeah,
Mordor?
I personally enjoyed it because
thought it
it
was
was it was satisfying to just murder millions of works, but it is very repetitive, just like Assassin's Creed, and a lot of people like hated on it because of the combat style.
Yeah, they can
but
suck a wing.
I liked it.
Did anybody play? Okay, it's as simple as this. It's Shadows of Mordor meets, it's Assassin's Creed meets Batman Arkham
Batman,
Asylum.
yeah.
Oh.
It's the
So
same.
like, you remember how
combat
responsive
style.
that the combat was? You could be punch, 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 and you get the little warning sign, and then you go block, and you do like that crazy block and shit. Like
Yeah.
that's all it was, and it was that over and over and over again. And yeah, it got a little bit harder. They put in some. It actually got really hard at one point because I was playing at a harder difficulty, and I had to fight like 3 generals at once, and it's one of those things where it's very gratifying because you can be like, oh, go kill this general. He's in this fortification. And you go into the fortification, and you go to kill this general, and you see him, and it does this cutscene every single time a general enters the combat. So, you know, you're fighting orcs, and the general, and it like zooms out, zooms over to the orc, and it shows them, and it's like, Graphic enters the battle. And you hear the orcs going, oh, 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 and it's like, oh, damn, this is badass. Holy shit! All right, I'm gonna kill that. And as you go to kill him, zoom, zoom, and then Dubs enters the battle. It's like, oh fuck, a second general. All right, it's gonna be a little harder, but zoom, zoom. Fuck, shit! It's just like, and all of them have different abilities, different weaknesses, and it really just gets you like, fuck!
Yeah, I really enjoyed the comment, and I think it was a lot. It was a lot more fun if you fucked up a little bit. If you did it perfectly, then
it was boring.
Yeah, and then it was boring. But if you like fucked up in where they like sounded an alarm and then you had a swarm, then it was a lot of fun. If you got more than one general, it was a lot of fun. But if you ran really perfectly and didn't have anything screw up, then it's kind of boring because it was too easy.
See, and that's good for me because I suck at games, like all of them. I'm not good at all. I'm trash. So That sounds like a great game for me.
It is really fun.
I gotta get it. I gotta get an Xbox One or a PS4 Destiny bundle, maybe.
Don't do it. It's true.
I want it really bad.
I liked Shadow
I do too.
of Mordor. I don't know how we got here from Dishonored 2, but yeah.
Yeah.
Next up from Kickstand. Knowing what you know now, what would you have done different when you first started streaming?
Oh,
That's
a lot.
a
I should stay the fuck away from Ven.
Nips. No. Me personally, I would have changed. I would have done a lot differently. I would say every streamer, no matter where you start. I think I slit my finger with my own thumbnail.
Very glad about that.
Damn it. I would say every streamer goes through a learning curve.
Yeah.
Every streamer does. It's just the way it works. Doesn't matter if you started 5 years ago, whatever. You go through a learning curve. My learning curve lasted for about 4 to 5 months, I'd say, before I think I really sat in and got comfortable. Before I stopped getting butterflies before I pressed go live. I mean, even now, I still do like today because this was this. Like, I got a little. I was like, Dubs! Dubs! I was freaking out before the stream started. 100%. I was calling Dubs. I sent a slow mail to his mother. I was like, where is Dubs?
I started getting passive-aggressive messages. Why isn't your new computer set up yet? Why aren't you in here?
Yeah. I was like, hey, I need help setting this up. He's like, yeah, you got it. By the way, I'm going to go set up my other computer. What the fuck?
I appreciate you guys, like, slacking a little bit, though, because that gave me more time to wake up.
Oh, she was not happy this morning. As I wake up, I told her last night, by the way, darling, tomorrow morning's the show, so you have to wake up early. And she goes, meh. And I said, listen, if you don't want to do it, just let me know.
I didn't know it was going to be the whole stream. I thought I would get to sleep until halfway through the stream. But
and so this is what happened. This is what happened this morning. I wake up at 10 o'clock, 30 minutes before the show, and I tap her.
I heard your first alarm.
Darling, it's time to get up.
One.
And she goes, no, I want an hour. And I was like, no, the show starts in 30 minutes. No, the show's going to be stupid anyways. Just let me sleep.
And then I told him I hated him.
I hate you. And I was like, all right, cool. See you in 15 minutes.
I woke up. Man, I woke up so much earlier than you guys. Like, a lot earlier. Like, I woke up 7:30 a.m. here. So that's like, it's 1:50.
4:30 a.m. there.
Yeah.
To be fair, we probably went to bed around then. So.
Oh, well, you fuckers. But so, I woke up, did a whole bunch with my morning, had a great breakfast. And then I was just thinking to myself, because Ven said 12:30, be ready. And I was like, yeah, but he's living like a different time zone.
Yeah, I was that was literally your time zone. Yeah, be ready at 12:30. Your time.
Like, so I was like, I'll probably be safe until like 1:30. So I got home at 12 and got in a match of HOTS and.
Oh my God! You were on HOTS.
And I finished the match and took my dog out, came and sat down. It was like 12:28. And I saw Ben had called me on Skype because I wasn't logged into Skype on my computer. And I was like, oh. And I called him. He's like, yep, thanks for coming now, Dubs. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm going to stab you so hard.
I'm just mad you played Here's the Storm without me.
So
I was doing versus AI to learn Tassadar.
Oh, okay.
So back to the question.
So, yeah, back to the actual question. So one thing that I would do differently is, I mean, I think a lot of it's just getting comfortable. I think that takes time. I don't think you can just say, I would be comfortable right off the bat.
Yeah.
But I would say one thing that I would focus more on was reading my chat more. A lot of streamers, when they first start streaming, they're not used to doing the head motion to read chat and then going back to playing the game. And then, like, you have to literally look at your chat every 10 seconds. Legitimately. It doesn't matter what game you're playing. Yes, some games you have to go, you say focus mode, and your chat knows what you're doing. But beyond those, like, 2-3 intervals of focus mode, you need to look at your chat every 10 seconds to be responding. Because if you're just staring at your screen, you're going to lose out a lot of viewers that are like, hi, what are you playing? And you just sit there staring at your screen like a jackass. And then 5 minutes later, you look and you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? You left the channel already, damn it.
I don't think I had a problem with reading the chat because I'm a shy person, so I wanted something to fill that void. So I was looking like, people say something so I can say something back. But I think the thing I would have done different, which I'm still suffering for now, is don't keep people around who aren't worth keeping around. So I had a lot of people who I would, like, oh no, I need that +1. So I would let them continue to be obnoxious little 12-year-olds, which now I hate children. My stream is very anti, like, I don't want you here if you are an immature little 12-year-old. Don't
She
bother.
wanted kids before she started streaming.
Like, I had no problem with anybody until, like, they overwhelmed my stream. And then it was just like, I hate all of you. You make me not like streaming. So don't keep people around just for the sake of the numbers, because they will ruin your stream. They will scare away all the good viewers, and then you'll have to rebuild.
Yeah, and that's, I can see Minnie Moose talking to someone specifically. I think he's not in the chat anymore, but there's a
I know who you're talking about.
here named Darth Knight Maricus who is in here, and he was like, I've got a few viewers in here from my chat that I've seen talking. I just see him like trying to talk to them, and them just not giving him the time of day. Yeah, I agree with that completely. I have to say though, for me, the one thing that I wish I would have done differently was everything up to when we started streaming here. Literally everything, because we've been streaming for like, this is like year 5, but we haven't been streaming, we've been YouTubers,
Right.
which we thought was going to be a great adventure that was bountiful and would bring us money, and we were wrong. There is no money in YouTube. It is a dead planet.
That's not true.
That's not true.
There is one city on planet YouTube, and it is the fucking 8 million subscribers and up club, and they make all the money, and everyone else is peasants.
Listen, but I mean, PewDiePie made 7.6 million last year.
I know.
Yeah,
we went through this before the stream, though. He puts in huge amounts of hours, and that's.
And here's one thing I will state this right now. If we have any YouTubers in the channel, I think streaming is harder than YouTubing. I think YouTubing is much more time consuming than streaming.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I say that, not to bash any YouTuber or anything like that, the reason why I will say that is because if I say something absolutely profound and like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't say that, I don't have the ability to cut and edit it out and put a funny joke there instead. Like, you can't polish your stream. This is raw. Yeah. It's live. If I lift up, if somebody comes and shows a penis, I just got banned. Guess what? You don't have to worry about that happening on YouTube.
Chat saw my penis already.
Why do I believe this?
Because I was playing Outlast Whistleblower, and everybody saw my penis.
Was it nice at least? Compliment another man's penis. Do it.
Okay, but so to kind of phone punch, it was a great penis. But all right, so what I'm saying is, I really wish that I would have gotten a bit more into streaming or knew a bit more what I was doing, because I was for Delicious Cinnamon, I did nothing at an administrative standpoint. I came to my friend's house. We filmed videos, I would be the funny guy in the background, and then I'd go home and he'd do everything else. He'd edit, run the website, run the Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And he did until just this past year when we started this. And he didn't really, like, he passed off to another friend who kind of passed it off to me, and then they both kind of phased out, and I was just like, alright, I'm doing it. And I feel like if I would have started streaming at this capacity back when we started 4 or 5 years ago, we would be so much bigger. We would have been, up there.
Anyone who would have started back then is at any good is huge, because you were on the ground floor. You were before it became super saturated. So I wish I would have started streaming back when I was super like obsessed with WoW. Like, I played literally like 24 hours a day and knew every single thing about it. Because now it's like I still like WoW, but I have the time investment to really know every single thing about it anymore.
And when we were kids, you know, like we
all the time in the world, no bills.
Yeah, like if I just in my senior year of high school, if I was able to come home, like no responsibilities. I didn't have a girlfriend till, like, a serious girlfriend till after my senior year of high school. You know, I had all that time. Not saying that having a girlfriend's like a time commitment, because we did stuff together. Yeah, no, but you know, like just as a kid who just started his YouTube channel, which is now at like, I don't know, fucking 6,000 views. We did our first stream. We had 250 people there. First stream. You know, like that was pretty crazy. And if I would have just capitalized on that,
Yeah.
it could be something different now. But I was really lucky now to be blessed with the opportunity I had with Hitbox to get to know some of the people more and be growing daily. That hopefully we can rebound from a
Yeah.
4.5 year debilitating wound.
Well, it's. I think every streamer kind of goes through that though. That initial period where it's pretty much you had to learn everything, so it's all wasted time, and you have to then kind of start over again.
Yep. And
it's part of the game, really.
I gotta laugh at Hawkeye's message. Just he didn't mean that, but you are killing the business.
Yes, 100%.
No, and that's why I'm really happy now too, because like to be true, or to be honest, if I would have had Minnie Moose back then, if she was my girlfriend back then, I wouldn't be here. I'd be sitting at like the fucking round table at Polaris, just like smirking, like I had nothing to deserve.
Like listening to Total Biscuit go on another crusade about something, and just be like, ah.
If I could go back in time, I would do two things. One, I would give myself winning lottery numbers, and two, I would get to the ground floor of streaming.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, I wish I would have started streaming when I was like, top end rating. Wow. What a mistake.
Especially because you're a cutie pie too. You definitely would have drawn in a crowd.
And I'm gonna be very honest here. From what I've seen recently, like here's like the day that all streaming and YouTube and shit started getting big. And it was like, yay, everybody's doing great! And then all of a sudden it was like, but now everybody who's not doing great is doing shit. Now we're down here. And I think at this point in time, we're coming up a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, the market's always growing, and I think YouTube still has a place as good complementary content and as good community building stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not... I mean, I think it's going to be true of everyone. Ad rates aren't as great on YouTube as they used to be. You don't earn the money you used to earn. But that doesn't mean it's still great content for a streamer to have.
Yeah, and it really does pull a lot of people. I think if you can manage the time commitment to do both well on YouTube and streaming, you can blow up. But that's a lot of work. That's literally like spending your entire day, all day long, part of your night, working on stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy to have Hitbox, because I think with how young Hitbox is and how fast it's growing, that a lot of, especially for American streamers, because it doesn't seem like it now, because it's based, European based, but I think with the American community growing at the rate it is now, we just get a few more, big names in here, good names in here, and maybe spread that YouTube a little bit more. We can see a lot of traffic start to come in for American streamers, and then if we can get a few people who are like the premier American streamers here,
like you guys.
Like that could be kind of groundbreaking for Hitbox as well as the streamers who are here in a collaborative effort to boost to the top. You know what I mean?
Know
Know I'm saying? Dude, Hawkeye knows what I'm saying. That's his dream.
It's that, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, time will tell. I'm excited for it. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I will say that. Alright, the next question we have right here is from Nova War. When do you guys think that games will become too commercial / too reliant on sequels? Examples, I think the switch to the 360 / PS3 era.
Wait, can you dumb that down for me?
So when gaming became more about franchises and less about innovation?
When did that happen?
That's a really good call. I think the time frame he gave is a good call, because it's when we started seeing these big major franchises come out and a drastic decrease in new IP.
Like Assassin's Creed. Millions of games, all the same thing.
Well, no, they're completely different. You don't have a grenade launcher in the third one.
Oh, completely different, groundbreaking. Give it a medal.
I mean, I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with this idea of sequels if it means we get good games, but I definitely think we've been hurt as an industry by a lack of new IP.
Yeah, I like sequels, because sometimes you just want more game. So as long as they're done well and they're not like exactly the same thing like Assassin's Creed, then it can be like it's worth having around. And I still think there's plenty of indie things, but it definitely has hurt it.
I think the only game that I am okay with there being a sequel I use loosely, every single year is sports games. That's it. Like, I hate the fact that
even then I'd prefer like a $10 DLC or like a roster pack that you buy, because there aren't enough changes to justify a whole new game every year, except for the fact that we'll all pay for it anyways.
Depending.
But I do think that maybe not the beginning of the previous console generation. Like, there was still a lot of new IP when Xbox and PS3 were new, and companies were just starting to figure out that they could get exclusive content, so they could get great games made that forced people to buy their console as well. But as we went, the deeper we got into that, the more the trend became, sequel what's popular. But that games got more expensive. It's a safer investment to take a successful property and stick a progressively higher number on it. But I think, especially as an industry, we lose something. We lose something when we don't have new IP and kind of new stories to come with the new technologies we're developing. Because gaming is, as an interactive medium, it is the best way ever invented to tell stories. And it's kind of sad to see old stories just be rehashed over and over again when we have so much potential with new IPs. And to tell awesome new stories and to see, games do new things.
One sequel series I will completely agree with. And I think a lot. I agree with one of two things. One, cool. Thanks for the phone. One of two things. One, you have a trilogy. Trilogies I approve of. I think it's a good way to tie it out. We're humans. We love trilogies. Okay. And
continuation of actual story is acceptable.
Or I would like to see more games kind of. Not necessarily Fallout, where Fallout is. It's the same universe, but it's different. Different story. I would say more of Final Fantasy, where it's the same name and it's a completely new idea every single time. And sometimes
Far Cry? Far Cry?
I've actually never played any Far Crys.
They're very different.
But yeah,
3 and the newest one are similar.
The Final Fantasies, yes, they share the name Final Fantasy. Sometimes they have things in common, like the Materias and the gods and the Esper lords, whatever it is. They always find a way to intertwine these worlds. But they're also a completely new universe. They're completely new characters, a new dynamic. I love that, because sometimes you'd play like Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6 in Japan, blah blah blah, was amazing. And then you had Final Fantasy 7, which came out, was amazing. Final Fantasy 8 came out, which I didn't personally care for too much, because I thought the goddamn story took forever to figure out who that goddamn bad guy was. And then 9 came out. I don't remember even playing 9. 10 came out, absolutely loved it. 11 came out. What the fuck is this? This is shit. And then the next one kept, I love that. It actually, it wasn't a smash hit every time, but at least it was a new idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still stayed within an established world. We have an incredible ability to do universe building in gaming, and I'd love to see more of that. But if we look at these continuing, the pattern of sequels, the place it helps us is it gives us kind of a consistent base level of decent games. The place where it hurts us is some of our, greatest successes and failures will come from new IP. Things like Splatoon this year, that's Nintendo's first truly new IP in a really long time, and it's great.
I wanted to buy a Wii because of it.
Yeah, and so there's been some good. The problem is with those successes, there'll also be failures, and like half failures. Like if you look at Mirror's Edge, great concept, great idea, is not a great game, and that's why everyone's hoping the new one will be, better. But the problem with new IP is for every good game we get, we're going to get 2 or 3 bad ones, and that's not an average that the industry and the people who have lots of money, that's not a good prospect. Like, hey, I'm going to give you $5 million to develop this game, and there's like a 40% chance it'll be a hit because it's a new story that people may or may not like. But that used to be what made gaming so awesome, all these different stories and experiences we had, and now it's, these 10 experiences with progressively higher numbers on the end.
I got a question real quick.
Sure.
How many games in a row now have used the exact same engine for Call of Duty?
Couldn't even.
All of them?
Couldn't even tell you. Draven made me laugh because COD. He said COD equal Pong, but changing the color of the ball.
Yeah. No. Because that's one of the things that I loved about the Halo universe, because Halo 1, 2, 3 trilogy played similarly. Physics did differ and playstyle differed between the 3, specifically for the competitive way. of playing, and then you hit Halo Reach, and it just changes. Everything changed. And then you hit Halo 4, and I mean, I know a new company took over Halo 4, and everything changed basically again. As far as the feel of the game, I mean, some people didn't like it. I thought it was all right.
I have not played a Halo since ODST.
ODST was really good.
And I got about halfway through until like that thing came down. They're like, "What the hell is that?" And then the thing came out and scared the bejesus out of you. And I put the controller down and I walked away. And I watched a Disney movie, I think.
Dude,
See, but even in Halo, we're still staying in the same world, but there have been some definite changes. But one of the reasons I liked, I don't know if anyone remembers this game, but it was a game called Homefront. And the reason I liked Homefront was it was, by all gameplay standards, it was pretty much a Call of Duty clone. Like, very similar gameplay style. The multiplayer was fun, but about like Call of Duty. But it was a new universe with new characters and this new, a completely different story from what we'd seen before. And that set it apart enough that I legitimately played through the entire single-player campaign and really liked the game. Yeah. I don't think I've touched a Call of Duty single-player campaign since Modern Warfare 2.
I played through Black Ops 2 because my internet went down. So I couldn't play online. I'm like, well, shit, I was really gonna roll, and now my internet's down. I'll just try and hone my skills some more in the campaign.
Okay, I gotta ask this. I gotta ask it because I feel like I'm not the only one that does this. As a true nerd of the computer, I wake up, I get on the computer, and whether I'm working or playing, I'm on the computer. Okay.
Okay.
How many people will just raise your hand in chat, raise your hand on camera? How many people have offline games downloaded and ready to play for whenever your internet goes down, so you have something to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I legitimately do. If my internet goes down, I will finally be able to play the Warhammer series.
I've got Frozen Throne, and it's been so long since I've ever played the campaign of that. I mean, I've got some Steam games here too. Can I play any of those without Steam being up? Is that?
Yeah, Steam has an offline mode.
Okay, because I've got Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and all that shit, Portal 2. But then also, just to rub it in some more, right there is a TV with a shit ton of game consoles.
Wow, this guy.
So if I'm sitting here and my internet goes down for any reason, playing Paper Mario is already there on my Wii. Ready to play. Yeah, I'm that kind of person.
Now I have a bunch of like strategy games that I have specifically installed just for
Minesweeper?
when the internet goes down. Like no, I'm talking about like Democracy 3 and a whole bunch of like, I don't really play the Civilization games, but that vein of game, like Off-World Trading Company and stuff like that.
I want to play
that are specifically games I play when I don't have internet.
To play that game actually.
Age of Mythology.
What game?
Off-World Trading Company.
It's so fun.
I've never played it.
It's an RTS with no combat. It's all about economy and building up like
it sounds
you're,
like
you're competing with other companies to collect resources on Mars. You're like a bunch of contractors, and yeah, you just win by being able to buy out the other company.
Yeah,
you earn enough money to buy out all their stock, and that's how you win.
Funny. Absolutely want to play that. So, what do you guys think about games that became too commercial? I don't mind them as long as it's not something that comes out every year, like a COD. Like, if I had to choose between gameplay aside, if I had to choose between Call of Duty or Battlefront, I would choose Battlefront just because they don't release a new game every fucking 12 months.
You mean Battlefield? Or Battlefront?
Sorry, Battlefield.
Battlefront!
Okay. But
I want more Battlefront.
God damn it, I just opened a whole new can of worms. But you know, Battlefield, 100% though. Like, just because when they actually release a game because of new things, except for this most recent one, which I thought was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
One version of the game I would still like to see, and I'm still kind of mad that this isn't there yet. I would love to see a multiplayer versus mode in, and I get hated on for this, in Payday.
Yeah.
where the attackers, they get, 2 minutes to set up. And then from there, the alarm gets rung. And then from there, the defense squad goes out and tries to take them. Instead of it just being AI, I would love to see it be a versus mode. I would fucking love that. It's cops and robbers!
Yeah. I remember we had to make maps for cops and robbers in Halo 3. That didn't go over too well. Because it's like, oh my gosh. Going on Flynn's 12-year-old thing, if you ever played cops and robbers with someone, you get invited to a fucking private chat by one of your friends who's just above the 12-year-old line, and he's playing with 12-year-olds, and like, yeah, we're playing cops and robbers, and I'm like, I'm gonna troll these kids so fucking hard. Their asses are gonna be sore for a week. Get in there, and it's like, okay, when the cops say stop, you have to stop. If they see you, okay? I'm like, alright, let's go. Ready, go. Run. I see you! No, you didn't! I see you! No, I see. Shoot him. He's dead. There's no killing in cops and robbers. I'm like, are you? I'm deadly.
The game mechanics are not forcing me to do this. Therefore, I do whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
That's what was neat about Counter-Strike, though. Every time they made up a game mode like that, it's like, look, we just modded it in, so now you have to follow our rules.
All right, the next question comes from Robman. This is pretty much just directed at Hawkeye because I don't think anyone else has tried it. Has anybody tried out Skyforge yet?
Yeah, I like it. It's really fun. Today the stress test is still going on for another 7 hours. It's really neat. I really, really, really like the combat. The classes all seem fun. The melee classes seem like the most fun, but I'm playing a Cryomancer.
It's a sexy
Yes, best by Geralt. So my character is looks a little bit like Geralt, and my combat armor is a polo and khakis, and like a fedora, not a fedora, like a.
Nuka-Cola.
Well, I had a skull cap, but I changed it to a different hat. I'm pretty sure. So we call him Best by Geralt, or I call him Hipster Grandpa, because he also has 3 earrings in each ear. But yeah, so there's a lot of character customization, and it's so far the combat has been probably the best part about it. It's actually fun. It mixes traditional MMO elements with action elements well enough that I've really enjoyed it. If I wasn't ridiculously tired, I'd have played all night. But I went to bed because I was tired.
You know, we actually missed a question from DJ Riff. Is WoW dying?
I don't know.
Only at the speed at which the entire genre is dying.
Yeah, I would say I don't think WoW is dying. I think MMOs are dying. Your mic's muted.
Yeah, MMOs are suffering, but I don't think WoW will ever completely die out until Blizzard pulls the plug. Because you're always going to have those huge fanboys and fangirls who will go back for every expansion they put out and play for at least 3 months. A lot of people who, like me, who continue their subscription regardless of if they're playing or not, like just because I might want to go on that, random day. Yeah. So it's definitely decreased, but I don't think it's going to die until Blizzard pulls the plug. MMOs
also, it won't die until somebody comes up with and Skyforge may be one of the ones to do this.
Something that
but a free-to-play MMO model that is a perfectly fair balance of time invested versus money paid. Yeah. Because that's what League of Legends did. League of Legends, in their free-to-play model, you don't have to buy anything, and if you're willing to put in a bunch of time, and if an MMO can find a model that works that way, that will finally be what kills it. Where the kid who has no money can sink, 60 hours a week into the game and get everything that the person who pays can get, but it's difficult enough that the person with a good job who can only maybe play 10 or 15 hours a week has to, can keep up with paying. And when someone balances a system like that well, that's when they'll win. Because their game will be populated by younger people with less money, but who are very dedicated, who make fan sites, who write guides, who do content, and they'll fill the world. So people maybe like me who don't have as much time, but I'll put 15, 20 bucks a month into an MMO I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And that MMO will be fun because it's populated by all the players who aren't paying. So basically the players who aren't paying become content for the players who are. They're the people who go on raids with me, who go in instances with me, who write the guides that I read on how to play my class. They find out the best builds. And when someone balances that system, that'll be the only way that WoW will see serious trouble without the MMO genre just in general dying off.
You want to know which game captured that perfectly? Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diablo 2 had a lot of that. It still had an upfront cost, but it wasn't outrageous.
No, well, that's like that's the price you pay, like $40, and then you've got hours of oodles of fun.
I still to this day remember I was on vacation with my family. We were in like Sedona, Arizona, probably because it's where we always fucking went. And we were in like a random bookstore, and this bookstore had a video game section attached to it, and they had Diablo 2, the expansion pack on it. What was the expansion called?
It was hold on, I think
Blood Lord of something.
It's Reign of
Blood.
No, it
Reign
was
of Penis. Whatever. The expansion pack was out, and I was like, oh, Dad, there's an expansion. I didn't even know they were coming out. Can you buy it for me?
No.
What?
I'm trying to think of it. Keep going.
Okay. Lords of Destruction, says Zelda.
Lord of Destruction. That's what it is, yeah.
So yeah, and that came out. I was like, Dad, we gotta get it. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. And he's just like, you didn't realize if I buy it now, you still can't play it for a week because we're in Arizona. And I was like, I don't care. Get it for me. And he bought it. And so sure enough, yeah, he bought it. And then
A week later, it was played.
A week later, I was able to play.
And it was great.
I've actually been playing a little bit of Albion Online, which is an MMO, but it's built to work on like tablets and stuff. So it's got a simplistic control system, and it's like a MOBA or an RTS style view. Like you look down on your character from that level. But it's, in my opinion, the best free-to-play model I've seen so far. I don't know anything about Skyforge's monetization scheme, so I can't say if it's good or bad. I literally know nothing about it. But Albion so far seems really fun, and I think games like that are slightly more casual geared, I can play Albion on my PC, and it's fun, and I especially do that when I'm PvPing, but I can also play on my Surface and on my other tablet, and it works just fine, especially for farming, stuff like that. Games that do something like that well, that become mobile, that become easily accessible, it could be the other thing that I could see going after WoW, just because WoW's systems are very established. So if somebody comes up with something really revolutionary, I don't think WoW could adapt to that, but I mean, so far nobody's done that well. Albion is maybe the closest I've seen, but I don't see them necessarily attracting the same type of gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to try Albion. I would definitely consider your traditional MMO though.
It's not a traditional MMO, but it has a lot of those elements. It's got a big persistent world, leveling and all that stuff, skill trees. What it does that I think is interesting is a complete kind of freedom to do whatever you want. Like, my character in Albion would be worthless in a fight, even though I'm really high level, but I'm a very, very, I'm a merchant. All my points have gone into gathering and selling and stuff like that, and transportation of goods. And that's a complete playstyle. Like, there's complete non-violent playstyles in that game. So there's stuff like that I think is cool, but it has to be done well.
Okay, so we're going to ask a question from Lucy because she has to go apartment hunting. She wants the question answered now because she's a lady.
Sorry, Lucy.
Will you guys play No Man's Sky?
I don't know what that is.
I know what the trailer is, but I've actually have not seen any gameplay for it. I'm on it though.
No Man's Sky, yes, I will play it.
Wait, what does?
I will always play all the games when I get to them.
It's
just a matter of if I'm going to put it before other things.
I'll have to look it up because I've never heard of it, but it sounds good.
Basically, everything about that game intrigues me. So I'll definitely give it a shot. But like any kind of project that seems risky like that, I mean, who knows? It may be something we all play for a week and then we're just done with it.
There were a few games like that a few years ago that just there's like a time period, especially on Steam, where like all these indie games came out and they seemed really good and just weren't that good.
I don't want to see you talking. Go back to game.
Sorry. All right, I'm leaving.
I mean, what? Oh God! Those are drones. Phaser set to stun.
But I mean, the thing that actually got me into it was the same thing, the persistent economy. It's a huge world. Like, I could play this the same way I play Albion. In Albion, I go to areas where a certain resource is very common, collect a whole bunch of it. I have a big, caravan beast that lets me carry a lot of stuff. And then I'll go back to an area where it's less common and sell it, because marketplaces are only city-wide in that game.
Okay.
And this seems to be a similar thing. Like, you can travel, you can collect resources in a part of the universe, take them to where they're less common. I would, that part of the game is what intrigues me. There's other awesome gameplay stuff, but I love all the economy stuff they've talked about so far.
That's pretty cool.
It does look neat.
Looks really.
I don't know if it's something that I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited for it. But I mean, I would definitely give it a shot.
I'm excited for Horizon.
Oh,
I know you have a huge boner for that one too.
I have a huge boner for that one. I'm so excited for
Forza Horizon.
Wait, please tell me, Dubs, you've seen what Horizon is.
Then, if there's anything you take away from my character values, you should know that I tunnel vision hardcore. So it's like, if I'm playing Fallout for another time, I'm not doing anything else with my free time besides something around the apartment or Fallout. And right now, that's HOTS.
Listen, I understand that.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that. I have to have like my MMO that I'm playing and my MOBA and my strategy game.
This game.
See, and the thing about that for me is when I get into a game, specifically games that a lot of like my friends are, oh yeah, okay, I have seen stuff on this game. It looks really good. This is definitely a game I would buy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And not just because of the graphics, but because like just the play style looks super nuts. Like, look at that.
I'm so excited for this game.
Yep. Same here.
Honestly,
Oh, it's so cool.
it kind of looks like if you play Skyrim as like a stealth or archer, it's kind of got like that, and it's kind of got a little bit of the Skyrim feel, but then it's got, throw in the robot craziness. Like, I'm so stoked for this game.
To me, this kind of looks like
Whoa.
I wonder if it's the same engine actually, because it reminds me visually.
Last of Us?
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, take my money. I've thrown my wallet at the YouTube video I don't know how many times.
I'm so
Yeah, this is one of the ones I...
Yeah. But to kind of continue on with the way that I feel about, like, devoting time to games, I don't like having multiples at my disposal, because I feel like then I'm wasting the time I could be spending on the other things. So it's like, alright, so like, let's say like I pick up Pokemon, and I'm really big into shiny hunting. That's my favorite thing. And the hunt is all about the time spent looking for the shiny. You're not finding a shiny if you're not playing. And so like that was the whole thing. It's just like I can't stop. I can't do anything else because then that's wasting time. I'm not getting a shiny. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all my friends are playing this new game called Heroes of the Storm. Well, I mean, I'm already behind. I gotta, work my way back up there to be up at their level and then pass them up and then get all the cool skins. And then I'll have all the stuff and I'm gonna be so happy about it. And then I'm sure, like, down the line, some other game's gonna come out and I'll be like, oh, that looks fun. Everybody, let's go do that. And then all my time's on that. Because I feel like if I'm not doing it, then then I'm wasting time.
I personally like having 2 games to play at a time. One is a story-driven game, and the other one is a game that doesn't really matter, like League.
Yeah, I feel similar.
Yeah, I really don't like having... I mean, I'm okay with having 2 story games, but I don't like having more than 2. Like...
I will not play 2 story games in a row just because I like enjoying one story time. That's like when you're like, okay, it's one thing to like, oh, I'm just browsing the internet and I also have, Netflix on the second monitor. You're not gonna have 2 instances of Netflix watching 2 separate movies at the same time. That's just dumb.
What if they're movies that mix really well?
Shut up, guy!
Alright, sorry.
I mean, like, to go along with that, like, I was playing, I think the most I've ever done, for 2, and it was a tough mix, and I ended up not doing it and picked 1. I was doing Fallout 3 for the millionth time, and then I was also playing Knights of the Old Republic. And I was just like I'd be playing Fallout 3, and I'm just like, well, I want to finish Knights of the Old Republic. And so I'd go back to that and play that, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my god. But I just got to this really good part in Fallout 3. Let me go back to that. And I just, it would just stress me out. I was like, I want to finish them both, but I can't finish them both if I'm playing them both at the same time. Because I got to prioritize, and who wants to do that? So I just picked...
Don't give me decisions.
Yeah, decisions. Just spoon feed me. Just like everybody on Quick Match does to the opposite team.
QB, thank you very much for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's so cool.
I will not share that at all
thanks,
with
QB.
Dubs.
Thanks for that $5 donation. I really needed it.
That's gonna feed my belly today because I have no money.
Your belly.
Your belly.
Okay, fine. Flynn's belly.
Flynn's belly.
Remember, guys, if you guys do have a question, do have a question and you guys want it answered, above in chat is the Twitter link. Just click on it, reply to it with your question, and we will get to it. I see a lot of people asking questions. Tweet them, and we will do it. Go.
Venalis.
Yes.
You say you're gonna feed Flynn, but what you could do, because the $5 of feeder you say, you could give me $3 and give Hawkeye 2, because that's probably all he'd need to fill himself.
Well, then what do I get?
Wow, let's make fun of the guy who had abdominal surgery.
But then what food do I get in my belly?
Just because I can only eat 6 M&Ms and then I'm full for a month doesn't mean.
You want me to eat my pet? Why don't you eat your dog?
I don't think.
Wow! What is wrong with you?
He just told me to eat the ferret.
I don't remember saying that.
Okay, question from Foam Punch. Opinions on the current remake/remastered trend in the industry right now?
Not a fan.
I like it as long as you're doing other projects. Again, just like the sequels, if it's not getting in the way of developing fun new IP, sure, give me a remastered version of a game that I liked when I was 10.
With that.
But
yeah.
You know,
I agree with
Grim Fandango remastered for $10. All right, fine. I'll live through some of my childhood again for $10.
Totally down with remasters. One, as long as they're done well, and like as Hawkeye said, as long as it's not just like, oh well, we don't want to put any time into making something, so here's a bunch of remasters.
Yeah, like what is it? The new Final Fantasy VII remastered. That I'm okay with because
that came out 15 years ago.
Yeah, well that, and also because they put out Kingdom Hearts as well. Like,
well, then again, Square Enix is fucking gigantic, but
they are. But you know
here's one
they
thing
did stuff.
Here's what I'll agree and disagree with. I agree with something like Final Fantasy, because it is a long time coming. The fan base has been asking for it for years. Something I don't agree with is the remastering of something like The Last of Us, which they remastered it like what, a year and a half after it came out?
That was
just so it was good on the PS4. It's like
I'd rather them remaster stuff that actually needs it that I would like to replay.
There's a few besides Grim Fandango and the new Final Fantasy game. There's one remaster that I was really happy about, and the other one I was not so happy about, and I've been talking about them basically all day today now. And it was the remake of Combat Evolved Halo, which they did a complete retexture reskin. 343 did kind of as they're like, you know, they're moving into the series, and it was really good. And there was like a button you could click to switch back and forth between the new and old graphics. So like you could throw a plasma grenade and it would go and you'd click it and it switched to old graphics and you could see what it looks like in both. It was really cool. But then you have fucking Master Chief Collection. And they remastered Halo 2, which I would have loved to see. I haven't played it yet. I would have loved to see. And then, like, you know, that was probably the cool part, but, you know, they're also working on their projects, so that was good. That I applaud them for. The thing that I don't applaud them for is we will have Halo 2 and Halo 3 maps playable on online multiplayer matchmaking system in 1080p. And then they promise it, they do it, and it doesn't work. And I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work. Like, the matchmaking system's fucked. It's bad.
How long... And we can make this one of those long-term bets. How long until they remaster a remastered game?
Oh, God.
I don't know if that's going to be a problem as much as it's going to be like, let's remaster a game that's 5 years old. Like, hey, we can cash in on this nostalgia dollar. Because that's the thing. Like, if you're remastering a game that came out when I was a kid, like a game from the mid-90s, I'm all about it. If it's a game I liked, because a lot of those games you go back to play and you're like, crap, I can't do it. It doesn't hold up well.
Yeah, you can't deal with it.
Like, some games just don't hold up well, and that makes me sad. But when it's like, hey, let's remaster a game that came out in 2008. Like, no, and how about we don't? How about no, that's okay. Like, that's more where I think the trend is going. Like, let's just start remastering things that just aren't that old.
I remember they remastered Rise of Nations. Did anybody see this? They changed nothing except for the water.
I know, and I didn't buy it because I have old Rise of Nations, but that's such a good game!
It is, but it's just like, let's remaster it. You didn't remaster it. All you did was added a new water texture. That's it.
In response to Graphic in the chat as well, you're right. You're right. However, I would have liked it to work. I really would have liked it to work. I really wanted it to work. It was such a good game. Halo 2, man.
I got a professional call. See you guys later. See you, Kiyobi. Thank you again for the donation, man. I really appreciate it.
They need to remake Final Fantasy Tactics.
God, I would be so happy if they did that.
Yeah.
One game I want them to remaster really bad, it's more of a personal thing, is... hold on. Words of Lunar. No one's even going to know what that game is, except for 3 people in chat that are like, yes! Yes! We have 110 people in here. There'll be maybe 2 to 3 people who are like, I love Lunar.
Oh shit, there's 113 people? I didn't even notice that.
What?
That's a lot of people in here. I wasn't even looking at that. You said 100 and some, and they like have 117 right now? Holy shit.
Master of Red Alert 2. Red Alert 2 is not that old. It still holds up well.
Allergic just
Red Alert 2.
$5 to me for food.
Really?
I was thinking Red Alert 3.
Allergic, thank you for the $5 donation to Miss Flynn for Miss Flynn for food. Okay, we can afford.
So I guess Delicious Cinnamon and Hawkeye get that $5 now.
Okay, let's see. Question or Kickstand says thanks for answering my questions, guys. You're welcome, Kickstand. Tretho says, I'm not even gonna ask this question.
What is it?
I want to know.
Who was the most obnoxious person that you can remember that's ever come into your channel?
Ooh, I mean, aside from the trolls that are trying to be trolls.
Let's see. Fernando, Prancer, Oh Dear, Emils.
Oh,
Emils. I think he's even here today. Is Emils here today?
Darth Knight Maricus.
Darth Knight. I know that. I knew that's what you were gonna say.
Candy is good. That was funny though. Everyone in DC.
You know what? I will say, and I will blanket this comment. There's people becoming that have personality. We'll say. But I will say the most annoying person, and this is something I know some people are going to be like, oh, did he just say that? Oh my gosh, I can't believe he would say such a bold statement. I hate, well not hate, but I really dislike when someone comes into my channel, friend or foe, doesn't matter, and they say something like, yeah, I'm going to be streaming in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that is annoying.
That is annoying. That is the definition of annoying.
If you haven't seen...
I'm going to be playing blah 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 on Thursday.
Have I done that? I don't think I've done that.
No, I don't think you've ever done that. Like if I say, hey, Dubs, what Tidy streamer, Tidy Gamer, newest member to the dark side. Tidy, when's the next time you're streaming? And if he says, oh, I'm streaming today in 2 hours, that's okay. Yeah. But if somebody comes in and says, yeah, I plan on playing Fallout 4, date releases, midnight release, guys, make sure to check me out at FLG Hawkeye. Like, what?
Oh, man.
I think, yeah, and if you haven't seen Ben's video on this, like, streamer etiquette, you should probably go watch it. But it's so annoying when people do that. Like, they'll come into a stream that's got a lot of conversation, got a good community, and they'll just plug themselves. Just like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, you don't even
stream.
See, the same thing happens, like, I mean, we don't get a lot of those people in ours, but where we do is our YouTube videos. Because we'll post, and, like, especially the stuff that has a lot of views and a lot of comments, like, somebody will go in there and you'll just see, like, 2 days ago, someone's like, wow, Pokemon stuff you do is so good. How about you check out my channel, Blotty Blotty Fliggity Blue, and they're like, I do Minecraft and also sometimes Pokemon hacks. Yeah, check me out. We are just fun guys trying to make a few bucks here on you. I'm like, it's like a paragraph of like, feel bad for me, kid. And I'm like, dude.
I want to be the next YouTube celebrity.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then I know there's some people who I know that they don't mean it to come off like that, but they'll be like, all right, guys, gotta go to start my stream playing this today, and it's just like, I know you're just saying that you're leaving, but at the same time, like, you're plugging yourself in the middle of my stream, where it's kind of, and then they do it every day. And it's just like,
the only time I'm okay with it is if like if I'm wrapping up and I'm like, I'm gonna host somebody, and someone's like, I'm about to start streaming, then I'm like, okay, I'll host you.
If it's the end of the stream, then it's more acceptable. But it's like an hour into my stream and I like have this going on, and it's like some people are gonna be curious and they're gonna go look, and it's just like kind of rude, you know. If I plug you, fine, whatever. But
yeah, I think it's no matter what, and it doesn't matter what channel. I mean, even if I go into Dub's channel, I think Dubs and I are friends. I have never once gone into his channel like, hey man, why aren't you watching me? Like, yeah, you know, like there are I consider I have a few good close friends in streaming world now. Yeah. And everybody in their channel knows I stream, but I still will never go in there and be like, I just blah 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 on stream. I don't even say anything,
I won't
just for the sake of she probably has some new people. He probably has some new people that don't know who the F I am, and I don't ever want to come off.
I will avoid mentioning anything about my stream, like even if I know like they've plugged me a million times, we're friends, like you know, like Burke, I'll go into his channel all the time. I will never mention that I stream, even though I know he's cool with it and he plugs me all the time. Just because it's rude. Like even the times when it's like, oh, I just, you know, finished my 24-hour stream or stream anniversary or something, I won't even mention that news. Like if they don't know, like I'm not gonna mention it. Yeah. So it's just rude.
See, the only time I've ever done something similar to that has, I think, maybe been in Ven's chat, and it's mainly been like, Ven, you and I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
Like
the only one I'll do is
we need to play
Let's
Mount Your
collab.
Friends.
We need to play this game. I need to be on your lap, something of that nature. You know, never like, oh yeah, Ven, I see that you're playing Witcher 3 too. Yeah, I just started, you know, I just started streaming that, you know, about a month back. I had a beta key.
That's actually a prime example.
Yeah,
right
people
there.
do that a lot.
What you said, it's the difference between saying, like, if you come into my channel and you say, oh, I just got into chapter 2.
Yeah.
And then there's a big difference between saying that and then saying, I just got into chapter 2 on my stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big difference. Those 3 words make a huge difference between
like, just don't even
cool guy or douche.
Mention it. I would rather like people PM me so that I know, like, because a lot of times I just don't know that you're a streamer. Like I've had some people in my stream, like I had no idea they were also a streamer, and it's like I would rather you PM me so I know, and then I can maybe plug you instead of you just kind of coming off rude to my channel.
Oh, I hear you. That is.
Taro says, "I'm gonna go jerk off. I'm gonna go jerk off, or I'm gonna go jerk off on my stream." Big difference.
Big difference.
I also sometimes people will come in and they'll try to start conversations about streaming so that they could talk about their stream.
Yep.
That's another thing that I've noticed people doing, and it's just like, can you please? Like, I'm trying to have a conversation with my chat about what we're doing in game right now, maybe about what's going on in their lives, but you just want to talk about streaming in your stream. Like, that's just rude. Well, and I'm willing to give advice, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just kind of like they're trying to plug themselves.
I absolutely do hate whenever there's one person that comes in and you can legitimately tell that they're new, and they say like, hey, do you have any advice for people who are looking to start streaming?
Yeah.
And because I think that's something where someone like me,
that's
I've been streaming for over a year, and then I feel like it's kind of my duty, you know, to be like, yeah, here's the ropes, here's what you should do.
I don't mind those questions.
And then they switch to, well, I mean, I'm live right now.
So then why are you in my chat asking questions?
It's like, what are you doing? Are you streaming, talking right now?
And like, so I can also understand those like eager, just beginning streamers. Like, I mean, you know, the sad fact of life is that if you go on a hitbox right now, I click on hitbox, and I just keep scrolling down the hitbox, like, show more. There'll be plenty of streams there. Like, I'm going down. There's the 10s, you know, and we keep going down, and okay, yep, there's the 6s, and you keep going down. You'll start finding 0s and 1s. Yep, there's 4, and it'll just keep going down. There are people, and, you know, God bless them, because, you know, one day they'll find their little niche if they're, you know, really, like, if they're suited for it. But they, you know, they don't have that good of a following or a good, you know, knowledge base to get started. And so I could see where it's like, you know, this person's like streaming Terraria, and they're just like, why do I have one person in my chat? Why is that a thing? And so they find someone who's like, hey, you got any like tips? Like, I could see it.
Yeah.
It's still etiquette dictates end your stream, take a break, do some research, you know.
I think that's just it.
Be smart about it.
A lot of people, one, don't want to put the work in themselves to like learn about it. They just want to like go up to someone like, hey, tell me what to do. And two, a lot of the younger generation don't have manners. Like they just don't have manners.
Yeah, manners have
you kids these days and your rock and roll 8-track tapes. Back in my day, we took care of the earth.
Youths! Oh my god, no more. Just became my best friends.
Great, now I gotta fucking watch more New Girl. God damn it. I love when he says that. Oh my god,
dude, no more. I say that all the time. Like,
to kind of, because I see CX Taro say, I said, Dubs talking to me. I love people, no matter who they are, who stream, as long as they're polite. As long as they're people who you can get along with, they are great. Like, I mean, one of the sad things about streaming, and you don't have to do it this way, you know, like, that's why I have fan days. And, you know, if there's, like, a day where, like, I'm playing with fans and I get some of them in Skype, like, if I end up playing Terraria with people, like, Capture the Gem, you know, if they have a stream, I may ask them and say, like, hey, do you have a stream, you know, you can plug it if you'd like to, you know, like, any of that type of stuff. I look like a floating head, thanks, Fen. But, is it better?
Yes, good.
Okay, excellent. But, you know, like, you know, as long as you have manners, as long as you're polite about it, you know, like, you know, I'll do what I can to help. You know, if you come to me in private, never confront me about something like that while I'm trying to entertain people.
It kind of throws off the groove, you know? Like,
it does.
When you're on a roll, you got a good thing going, and it just kind of, like, kills it. Like,
yeah, no, and Taros, I understand if you were joking. Totally get it. I'm just saying for everybody else's, you know,
it's just so everyone knows.
Everybody's knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, like, we get nasty when we're streaming. You come to us and you say something we don't like, we'll snap your neck in like an instant.
No, I can settle that up very easily. I like people. I hate people that are entitled.
Yeah.
That's the major difference, and that's actually because somebody brought up that they posted my vlog thing, and I've had some people ask me like, what's that about? Blah 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 blah. Long story short, we had a streamer who was here. He's no longer here. The end. And as he left, I defended him as he was walking out the door, like, oh, you know, he's a cool guy, you know, don't worry, blah 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 blah. And then shit came to light through means, and shit came to light, and I was just like, holy shit! And it turns out he was just this huge entitled asshole, and it's the type of person that I fucking hate. Yeah. It's like, well, you know, like if somebody comes into this channel and says, Ven has 110 viewers, I should have 110 viewers.
Yeah.
How long have you been streaming? 4 days?
But I'm the best. Everybody knows I'm the best.
You know, it's just like, what?
What does entitled person exactly mean? They think that they deserve everything without working for it.
Yeah, well, and
because I know you have to give me what you have.
People who believe it's their birthright. That's entitled.
Yeah, to kind of put it in some like real life perspective, literally 75% of comments, not 75%. I'd say about 45% of comments on YouTube for my videos are entitlement. And what that means is I will put out a video that I am proud of, that I spent a long night editing, you know, and, you know, a long time filming. And I'll get it to put it together, edit it, put a lot of work into it, and put it out. And like, this is going to be liked. And someone goes, yeah, I really wish I could see so-and-so in this video. And I'm like,
what about me?
Oh. And just, yeah, I really wish that you guys still played Pokemon a whole bunch. Oh, my heart.
Oh my god, I feel you on that one, because I had a ton of people who would watch me for Skyrim, and that they still come into my channel like, when are you gonna play Skyrim? Well, I'm not playing Skyrim right now.
Exactly.
I'm this.
You know,
well,
and I'm
when
like,
are you gonna play Skyrim? Will you play Skyrim tomorrow? No, I'm not gonna play it now. I'm never fucking playing it again. Thank you.
Yeah, and I get that people enjoy it, but it'd be different if they went like, you know, just like if they gave it a chance, because I feel like my content's pretty good all around, but like if I'm not playing something specifically, something this person who's following me enjoys, similar to something you said a while ago about the +1 people, they're like, you know, where is, you know, you know, I really want the Pokemon. Like, if they would have said, oh, man, you know, I'm really enjoying this series, or, you know, like, yeah, this series is pretty good so far. Just curious.
Yeah,
do you guys plan on, you know, maybe doing some more Pokemon in the future? And I will calmly address them.
When you do it, like,
yeah, like I'll be like,
they're very
you know,
demanding.
yeah, it's just like Pokemon or I unfollow. I'm like,
Do you get the people who come in and they're like, when are you gonna play this? And you're just like, well, not anytime. Well, I'll be back when you play that. Like, bye.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Darth
Like, all right,
Knight
fuck you. I don't want
Darth
you
Knight
here.
Maricus. That's him. He's just like, oh wait, you guys aren't playing Legend of Zelda today? You're playing fucking Dongers? And I'm like, yeah, we're playing Mount Our Friends today. Okay, well, I'll be back on Thursday. This is Monday, mind you. Thursday when you play that. I'm like,
I've told this story before. I think even on this show before, and I'm gonna say it again because it was one of the funniest moments I've ever seen of Dubs. Every streamer goes through that. Like, when are you playing this again? Well, we beat it. You know, we're not playing it again. And I was there when Dubs finally hit that snap moment, and it was on stream because somebody was like, "What do you play in Pokemon? What do you play in Pokemon? And he was like, "You know what? Stop! I'm making a statement." You know what my favorite part about video games is? And he just looks dead in the camera and goes, it's that they end. And then you can move on to the next story. It was just like...
Like, I've had that in my stream, too. It's like, I finished the game, and then people come in like, oh, have you played this? No, yeah, we finished it. Well, when are you going to play it again? I'm like, well, we fucking just finished it. I'm not going to play it again for at least a year.
That's nuts. Oh, like the day... That sucks.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people like, when are you going to play The Witcher again? I was like, do you realize that took us like 8 weeks to beat?
Yeah.
Well, now you can play the modded version. It's not a modded version yet.
You can go watch the VODs if you really want to watch it. Like,
I just saw somebody in chat, and I'm assuming it was a joke. Yeah. Fernando Cartel Lopez, and then there's somebody else just above who said it as well. Add Delicious Cinnamon. Hold on, where was I? I just saw it. Yeah, Skywielder. Add Delicious Cinnamon. Will you play Pokemon Remastered?
We're now circling back to old topics. Will you play Pokemon 4 Remastered Edition?
Oh, you mean the Pokemon is coming out in 2 years?
That was announced at E3. In it, you're blind, and through echolocation, you find Pokemon.
Yes, I will be. Stream 3 a.m.
Okay, let's see. Be there.
Yeah. Dubs.
Okay, so we got a Sky. I think this question's more directed towards me. At Ventilus, on the topic of MOBAs, do you think HOTS will ever be able to compete with the big dogs like Dota 2, Smite, and LOL?
Yes.
No.
no.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
I say yes.
I personally do not think so, just because I think League and Dota has a much bigger fan base than HOTS, and on top of that, I don't think HOTS will ever convert too many of the fanboys of Dota or League just because of its game style. I think HOTS, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I think HOTS is a good game, it's a fun game, I just can't view it as a competitive, oh my god, I gotta put my heart and soul into this.
Well...
Like, it'd be one thing if it... the biggest thing I hate about it is it's not even fucking responsive. That I hate.
The thing about it, and I mean, this is coming from someone who does not play MOBAs like this. Like, I did not play League. I was in Warcraft 3 when Dota was made, and I tried playing it, and the instant I started playing it, when it first came out, the entire community shat down my nostrils, and I was like,
God.
Fucking A.
Yeah, original Dota was not for the faint of
And it just
heart.
turned me off the whole series. And one of the things I know about both those games is there's like this whole like item tree system where you have to spec your character not only with abilities and stats and shit, but you have to like get the correct item permutations and shit like that. And the thing, like, I was very cautious to play HOTS, but the thing that sold me, number one, because I'm a Blizzard fanboy, and I'll say that right now.
Yeah,
I love,
I am too. Definitely.
you know, I love that shit. The second thing is that the simplicity in it. Like, it can still be competitive. It can still be fun, on the edge of your seat type shit. You know, we gotta do this shit. And yet, all you have to worry about are your talents and how you're playing your character. You know, you don't have to buy shit or any of that junk.
And I think that's one of the reasons why it will... Now, here, that's actually an excellent point. It is so simple that it removes the complexity.
Yeah,
it's like take for instance, same exact concept, very simple, but can be complicated in strategy. Hearthstone, because you can have multiple win conditions, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, now if you have Hearthstone, will Hearthstone ever have a world championship held at the Staples Center? No.
It's because Blizzard holds everything at BlizzCon. Like, Hearthstone is already as an esport really big, and it's gonna grow, and that's just because Blizzard, like, they didn't intend for that. But my thing with Heroes of the Storm versus like League of Legends and stuff is, one, I think Dota 2 is on the decline.
Yeah,
I've always thought it was on. I don't like Dota just because of its color scheme.
But that being said, like, I think the reason Heroes of the Storm is going to do well, both as a casual game and as a competitive game, in a casual sense, it's so easy to pick up.
Yeah.
You don't need to understand a whole lot about it to start playing. You feel like you're at least an adequate player in 5 or 6 games, but it's difficult to master. You'll always, no matter how much you play. I mean, I've been playing a ton, and I'm still constantly finding players who are way better than me. The reason it will do well as a competitive game is because of how much of it's based on team play. You can't be really, really good at Heroes of the Storm without a good team playing alongside you that understands rotations, that understands objectives. A lot of that game puts a lot of decision-making in your hands because of the other objectives. Do we go for this map objective to get the curse, or can we just push and win here? Or if we get this boss camp and trade, a stack of coins being turned in for this boss camp, is that going to even out? There's a lot more decision making. I think it's a game less for mechanically skilled MOBA players and much more a game for MOBA decision makers and shot callers.
Well,
because it takes away the mechanical skill. So I think it will be good and popular at a high level with a different subset of players. Like maybe those guys who were really good League of Legends strategists who just never quite had the mechanics to play at a top level.
Yeah, I think Cody nailed it right on the head.
Yeah,
Cody said, Heroes of the Storm is going to disappoint some die-hard MOBA players because of the simplicity to it, but it's much more inviting to casual and new players.
And the thing is, but it has that high. I mean, but if you're like a great League of Legends player, I mean, there's just no reason to switch. And Heroes of the Storm isn't trying to get you to switch. It's not going after like LoL players because it's not mechanics based. It's going to go after. I think Heroes of the Storm is going to be popular among people who played a lot of things like fighting games, kind of like how Smite got popular because it appealed to a different crowd.
Mm-hmm.
The Heroes of the Storm can become popular by appealing to a different crowd because it's not about mechanics. It doesn't matter how well you last hit. It matters how well you understand map objectives and when to have your team rotate and when to go for a boss camp versus when to go for a map objective versus when to tower, when to push. How to build your team. Do you play with 3 specialists and try to lane push on this map? Because every map requires a different team comp and strategy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player that game will appeal to in a high-end competitive way, not highly mechanically skilled last hitters who do traditional League and Dota competitions well.
And that's something that in Cody's comment there, one thing that I picked out from that specifically is new. I would have never played a game like this ever if it wasn't for HOTS. And the more I get into HOTS, the more I can kind of see like, okay, I could do League of Legends. However, I'm enjoying Heroes of the Storm.
I think what will happen is you will try League, and then it'll be too hard for you.
I could see that, yeah. But I mean, here's the thing, because you fucking smart. I mean, the thing is one of the things about League and Dota that I literally just, the thing that happened the most to me is I would go and I'd be like, yeah, let's kill shit like I do in Warcraft 3 normally in Dota, and then I get wrecked because I get teamed up on. And I am an aggressive player no matter what I play in. Strategy, what the fuck is that? I just dive headfirst into enemy swords, and Here's the Storm, because I think of its simplicity, instead of just, like, not only killing me, but then had all the players shitting on me, it was, I died, and it was like a little slap on the wrist. HOTS was like, no, don't do that. Do it this way. And I was like, oh, spacing, that's a thing? Okay, I get it now. And it's just kind of taught me the way you should play these games. I'm not that good yet, but
yeah,
I'm getting
there's
it.
nothing wrong with that. Okay, we're gonna try to power through these questions because we got like 3 more to go and we're already over time.
I'm
Holy
so
shit.
hungry.
Shut up, Flynn. This
She
one's
got
from
$5.
Draven. This is a good question, and I think this will spark a decent-sized debate. Or not decent-sized debate, but I think we'll all be on the same goddamn page is more like it.
Yeah.
From Draven, what do you guys think about the whole Batman Arkham Knight being broken on the PC and how many AAA games are being so buggy?
A lot.
A lot of them.
Almost
I personally hate this.
Finish your games!
I hate when companies, finish your games before you release them.
Well, and even with Arkham Knight, it was more, stop making shitty PC ports. Like, why? Why do we have shitty PC? I hate every time I load a PC game and the first thing I see is press A to continue.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Make a good PC port. PC is a legitimate market.
A lot of games that came out had issues. Like what? Lords of the Fallen was pretty much unplayable.
Oh, yeah. Lords of the Fallen.
For a while till they patched it.
Lords of the Fallen was unplayable. Dragon Age, even Dragon Age was actually a little bit buggy.
Yeah.
What else?
Assassin's Creed Unity. LOL!
All of the Assassin's Creed games.
That, yeah. And it's just
yeah, that's just known. Yeah.
Like, could you imagine how much more... And this is one of the things I don't really understand from AAA games. How can you make so much profit off of a game and not see how much more profit you could make if your PC ports were solid?
Yeah.
Because it turns off so many... Like, I personally will not play another Assassin's Creed game on the PC for a while to come.
Yeah.
Just because Unity was so fucking bad. They were
So-
like, we're going to set the render distance to 9,000. It's like I'm inside a house.
Nova has a good point, though, because, like, they can patch it. That's a thing. So,
It just sucks that they're using all these cop-outs.
Well, and there's a lot of what's that show called that's all about the game? Extra Credits, the show that James Portnow does. They have a really good talk in there about kind of channel conflict within development companies, because the guys actually building the game and the systems and the devs, they want to squeeze every feature they can into the time they've been given to make this game. And the publishers and the business side want a game that releases on X day before we run out of money and, can't continue development. And so you're always going to have this conflict of trying to jam in as many features in the time as possible. And I think what's sacrificed in that channel conflict is proper testing time.
Yeah.
We have to have this game out in February. We need about it needs to be finished about 6 weeks before it ships. So we can get physical copies done and deals. Sometimes it's like 6 to 8 weeks. The game is no more building it. It's now being boxed up and shipped and sent. So I think a lot of that conflict is we try to jam as many features as we can get into that time, that what gets sacrificed is testing, because as Nova brought up, we can patch.
Yeah.
Hey, we could spend an extra month testing a finalized version of this game, but we could also use that month to get these other 2 features in that we have here on the design board that 2 of our designers have gotten really attached to over this 6-year development process. And we can always release patches. We'll have a huge testing base once we sell it, and so that kind of conflict, and it's not something that's easily solved, but I think that causes a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is even the people who, because we all get in that mode where we deal with the frustrations of getting a new game and wanting to play it and then not being able to play it, so then we're like, I'm never buying it until it's fixed again. But you're always going to have that huge group of people who goes for the hype and buys it regardless of how crap it is when it first comes out and they, needing the patch. So they're pretty much banking on the fact that thousands of people are still going to buy it.
And I do want to stress a point to a lot of people who are out there and are PC gamers, and maybe you don't know much about drivers or anything like that. One thing that does plague PCs and PC ports and things like that. Now, I will use Witcher 3 as a prime example. Witcher 3 for me did not have any crashes outside of driver issues, which is one thing that sucks for major games like that, because I played it, not a single crash, perfect, absolutely no problem. Updated my drivers, which then changed something in the background, blah 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 blah, and then bam, crash, bam, crash. And it's very unfortunate to see a good AAA company be plagued by crashes due to something that is completely... Witcher does not make the drivers. NVIDIA does that shit.
Well, and you also have the potential, I don't know if you saw those articles that came out a couple weeks back about NVIDIA, like the games they partner with being specifically designed to not run well on AMD processors and cards. NVIDIA and Intel inside games. So you have, and that's I don't think anyone's been able to definitively prove that, but you also have issues like that, is who sponsors these games, who's having them, who's helping with production, and how does that affect that? Because there were some pretty damning notes in some of the articles I read about, NVIDIA specific games, games that were made with NVIDIA features, just being borderline unplayable on release for AMD cards. And vice versa for AMD sponsored games. So we don't know how much of that is involved in the industry that can cause optimization problems. There's just no easy fix, because that's a business side thing too, is, can you afford not to have strategic partnerships like that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Moving on. This one is from Tidy. I think this is directed more towards Hawkeye. Let's see how much he's allowed to answer on this question. Tidy asks, what's the next big plan for Hitbox, events, promotion, advertising, etc.?
Hawkeye won't tell you anything.
Wow.
His lips are
so much faith in me, Miss Flynn. The next big thing is we release our own brand of Hitbox cook-at-home pizzas. We've decided that our stream market really needs something to eat while they enjoy streams on this site, so we're developing an in-house brand of frozen pizza.
But are you going to be able to deliver these to the U.S.? Because it is a European-based
where we're going to work with manufacturers and distributors worldwide, so you will all be able to go to your local grocery store and get the Hitbox frozen pizzas. Because our CCO is vegan, we'll even have a vegan option.
I was so ready to believe you.
Obviously,
like we are going to be, and I'm like, having our own line of pizzas.
Puppies. Hitbox puppies.
Hitbox puppies.
They look like doves.
Yeah! Puppies that look
you
like...
You can get them in 3 breeds. Dubs, Ven, or Nova War.
The most recent thing we've announced is that we're going to have 4K capability. And we have a lot of things we're working on. We're always looking for new event partners here in North America, new event partners in Europe. We pretty much announce those as soon as we have things finalized. So yeah, definitely over the rest of the summer, there's going to be some things that we work on to be kind of more present at events both in Europe and North America. I hope to go out to at least 2 or 3 events this summer and a couple more in the fall. But as far as the tech side, we just announced 4K. We're going to be seeing some of the first esports events that are broadcast through 4K are going to be here sometime in July or August. And hopefully more stuff like that. And this awesome show, Disconnected, yeah.
So when because you do realize I'm going back to Chicago in a week. Once I get back to Chicago in a week, I will have my secondary streaming computer, and thus lovely Ven will have dual streaming computers finally, which means I'm gonna damn well I'm gonna be like streaming at 4K. How many people are gonna hate me for that?
I'll hate you. But I
just need a second computer. I have my beautiful 100 up, 100 down line, but
God, I hate you. All right. Okay. Last question. It looks like from Avi. Avi says, having a lot of playtime into Ark, do you think it has long-term potential? I noticed games like that die out after about a month.
Haven't heard anything about Ark.
What the? You know Darkside has a fucking server. Stop hot as shit. Come play Ark.
Honestly,
you can ride on a T-Rex.
They're adding so much stuff. I'm really excited to see where they go with it. It always has potential to die out like any of these build your own life games, but I think this one's got a better chance just because 1, it's really well done and they're adding a lot of stuff. 2, dinosaurs. Yeah. Like, how can you ever say no to dinosaurs?
I saw it, but I didn't hear enough hype about it to actually get into it.
You obviously haven't watched mine or Ben's stream then.
I haven't.
There's your first mistake.
That was my mistake. I don't know. I didn't see a huge. I see it pop up every now and then in the Dark Side chat. Which, can I just ask a question real quick?
Shoot.
when the Dark Side chat was first created, I changed the picture of it
to the gorilla. Yes, it's still there.
To the Jimmy's gorilla.
It's still there. Even on my screen.
And so I was just hoping that everybody else saw it because
yes,
it's still the Jimmy's gorilla.
Yes, it is still the Jimmy's gorilla.
Okay, good. All right, I'm so glad that's a thing still.
I will say, games when you specify games like that. Now, here's one thing that I will agree with. Games like this do die out because there is a lot of hype for them. It's a lot of hype. It's a lot of hype. It's a lot of hype. But
There's
because
just so
it's pre-alpha, it is very easy to get to end game. And take Reign of Kings, for instance. When Reign of Kings was first released, a lot of hype, got our own server, a lot of hype. And then from there, we kind of did everything you could do in the game within a matter of a couple weeks. Because it was pre-alpha, there wasn't a lot of content in the game. And now the hype's died out for it because we've done everything.
Just waiting for them to add enough
They've added so much.
But it's still
because
not
the hype died, it's hard for more hype to just resurge.
There's something else too that has to deal with like streaming and free time. Like right now, there's a lot of games that us four here would rather play than some of the games that are gonna get redone. Like right now, Terraria's got that big update, and I've heard it's great.
I don't want to play it.
And the only reason why I'm thinking of playing it is because of the hype that it's receiving. Now, if it wasn't receiving hype, it was just like, oh, another patch to Terraria, and people could say, oh, there's so much being added to Terraria. I'm like, yeah, but sadly, it's not on the forefront of my mind just for playing, and it does not have enough marketability to be played on stream. Like, I'll play it for like a play with fans thing, but it's not popular enough to where it's like something I want to do for stream. I want to play games either I want to play, or would be a good selling point for the stream, like a new release or a popular title, something like that. Right. And that's not that right now. I neither want to play it nor have to play it.
Which is funny because if you go to the purple side, Terraria is one of the highest playing games right now.
Yeah.
But that's because now I believe that's also a little bit unfair because a lot of the top dogs are playing it. So if you have, Co, you have Lyric, and you have Soda Poppin', it says that there are 70,000 people watching this game, but in fact there's only 3 streamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just, whatever's, they're either contracted to play or just choose to play gets a lot of viewership, but that doesn't mean it doesn't necessarily trickle down to smaller streams. But something else for things like that, it's trying to pick what games to play and stuff. It's always a tough decision because if you're not playing something you enjoy, it's going to show. But games like Ark, the problem with that is, like I said, you run out of content really fast, and games like that are so dependent in the long term on having servers full of people.
Yes.
Those games are made interesting by the conflict that comes with we have 5 or 6 factions on this server that are competing with each other, or that Ark solves a little of that with some of the neutral things you can do, like go try to kill these monsters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They solve a little bit of that, but the big problem I've had with the bigger servers I've played in for Reign of Kings and for Life is Feudal is if you can't keep a lot of people in the server, you lose that whole conflict, which is what we're supposed to be building towards the end.
Yeah.
I think the one thing about Ark, though, is that unlike Reign of Kings, which is just, build up, and if you don't have a conflict, it's kind of boring, Ark has the dinosaurs, and you get attached, and then they die, and you have to keep feeding them, so...
And Flynn lets me die.
Yeah. And even if you don't have a ton of people on the server, as long as you enjoy the whole dinosaur aspect, you'll keep playing. Like, I could quit playing for a while and then come back later by myself and have fun just because I'm going to go tame some dinosaurs and get attached to them and then watch them die and then cry about it.
That sounds like fun.
It is so much fun.
Wally wants a dinosaur. Right, bud? Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I absolutely... I like Ark. I'm afraid, and I'm also really excited. For those of you guys who have not heard or looked at the patch notes...
They're adding a lot of changes.
They're adding in a Battle Royale.
That too, yeah.
Into Ark.
Well, shit.
Nice.
And I think that could be really cool. However, I will say that every game that has ever had a Battle Royale added to it starts to primarily focus on only what's good for Battle Royale.
Yeah, what was that one game we used to play?
H1Z1.
Like 61HZ?
I'm worried about the monkeys they're adding. That's gonna be terrifying.
What?
Monkeys, dude.
Yeah, they're
Because-
adding gorillas. They're adding big ass like silverback.
And they
gorillas.
can raid your camp and steal your shit.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to
When did
tame
you
that.
read that?
Baby said.
Oh, did he actually? Did he?
He watches a lot of YouTube.
Your source is a 9-year-old.
Yeah, but his source is YouTube. All he does is YouTube.
That's true.
If it's on the internet, it's obviously true.
Look at me.
He's a French model.
I am.
All right, guys. I think we're actually out of questions. We're about 20 minutes over time. Let's see if I missed any.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. That's all she cares about. She's like, there better not be another fucking question. I swear to God, if there's another question, I'm gonna fucking.
I'll get my sack of quarters.
So here's what we'll just as we exit out of here and we exit out for the day. We will do our basic shout outs. Let's go ahead and we'll start with you, Dubs. Go ahead and shout out. Bloop.
Well, hello. My name is Dubs from Delicious Cinnamon Official. You can see me here. I'm gonna type in chat. I'm gonna go. You can click on my name and figured it. Follow us. We stream a whole bunch every week. Lots of new stuff like Ape Escape, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, shit like that. Join in for the fun. Follow for the alerts. You know the drill.
Awesome. Miss Flynn, you're next.
Yeah. All right, you can find me over on the Purple site. I'll post my info here.
Fuck.
I should be streaming
You
tonight.
can just point to your left, actually.
Yeah, but clicky links are easier. For
Oh, I got you.
I'm gonna get my
Continue.
Yeah.
When's your next stream, Miss Flynn?
Maybe tonight.
Maybe tonight.
Moving has made things very chaotic. Alright? We'll be back to normal schedule as soon as we're back in Chicago.
Here's my clicky thing.
See,
FL
clicky things are better.
I understand. FLG Hawkeye.
I'm FLG Hawkeye. I work here at Hitbox as the head of community. You can usually find me in the various streams of NA people. Sometimes I even stream myself, but that's been like a super rare thing. But come follow my channel. If you see me in chat, feel free to say hi, shoot me over a whisper. Yeah, that's it.
You guys
Wait,
heard it here.
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye says go ahead and whisper him any day of the week. That's
Wait,
fantastic.
Ben, I've got one more thing. Can you go back to me real quick?
Yeah.
We might be streaming HOTS tonight as well.
All right, skipping
With
the-
Hawkeye.
With Hawkeye!
Of course.
Yeah!
And me, you guys know me. My name is Venilus. We stream Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 3, 5 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. This pretty much means we'll be back again live in about an hour and a half. If the Rocket League servers are up, we plan to play. So if anybody wants to join, feel free to get your cute butts over back in this channel. And that pretty much sums it up. Thank you guys very much for joining us for. Oh, that's my face. Thank you guys very much for joining us for our very first episode officially of Disconnected. Disconnected! Yay!
We need like confetti thingies.
Yeah, we should have made confetti
I didn't
things.
get confetti.
Everybody, find trash. Everybody has trash at your desk. Do it.
I don't.
I'm not at a desk. I'm in my living room.
I hate that thing. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. This will be a weekly thing, except for next week, because next week we are going to be traveling cross-country to go back to Chicago. Then we will reconvene once we are back in Chicago, and we will go from there. Thank you guys very much for being a part of the stream. If you guys want to see us again, make sure you guys hit the follow button down below. And
click all of our links.
click all of our links. Follow us on Twitters. You guys know the deal. Guys, let's get some hearts as we get out of here. See you guys. Hawkeye! Heart!
Heart.
Sorry.